The CoCo Nation Show is an unscripted, live, and interactive broadcast. Anything can and will happen. The views and opinions expressed by members of the panel and the live audience are their own, and not necessarily those of the CoCo Nation Show, its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. Open minds are encouraged, and a sense of humor is recommended. Thank you for being a part of the CoCo Nation.
Radio Shack? Okay.
What?
The 80s called.
Welcome to the CoCo Nation, the world's first live and interactive talk show featuring the Tandy color computer and its hardware cousins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CoCo Nation Show, episode 324. Boy, we have a bit of a different show today. This will be fun. Buckle up. Hang on. All right. So we have things like live reports from VCF West with Mikey. And
Hi.
Curtis is not able to join us today. So news will be by Mark.
Hi, y'all.
So on the panel, we have yours truly, Button Pusher. Next up, we have Kevin Holloway.
Hello, everybody.
And Marco, the man with the news.
Glad to be here.
And next row, we got Mikey Furman, live from VCF West 2023.
Hi, everybody.
And Sloopy Malibu
Greetings.
with the game on results.
But I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Are we just not going to tell the Canadian government that we're producing content without any Canadians?
Not a single one.
Oh, they would be so mad. They'd have a new tax.
We'll
I
be
was
blocked.
born in Alaska. Does that matter? No.
Well, they forgot to send their contingents.
It's their fault. They forgot to send the Canadians.
Yeah, or is the border closed again? I don't know. Let's see. Next up, Alan.
Howdy, everybody.
Okay, and bottom row we got Ron Delvaux.
Ron Delvaux.
Ron's Garage.
Ron's Garage.
Okay, so has it hit 120 yet?
Oh, a few times.
Oh, let's see. Next up, Rick Euland.
Hey. Try to fake us in there a little.
Okay,
Man of few words.
and last but not least, Thunder from Down Under, Nick Marentes.
Hey, everyone.
How's tomorrow doing?
Hi,
The
Mr.
world hasn't
Detroit.
grown, not yet.
Is tomorrow any better than today? How's it looking so far?
I'll be able to get some sleep tomorrow.
Okay,
You better-
and
yeah.
then the last second joining is Brian
Brian
Weasler.
Weasler.
Still getting his mic hooked up.
He's
All
the
right.
warehouse division.
You have your,
Mhm.
you have your own mute. You have your own volume and mute button right here. Okay.
All right. First up,
You can
Mikey.
adjust your own volume and then mute yourself.
Hello? Hello, Houston.
Houston is here.
Are you there?
We are here. And you are live.
Oh, wow. I'm still alive after all these years.
That's right.
So let's see, I'm seeing me here, but up here, I don't know how technology works. It's just,
Well, we do all this with Cocos.
Yeah, you may have a Commodore. That's why.
no, I do have a Commodore. I do have Cocos, but I'm an Atari guy.
I'm sorry.
Atari rules.
Yes.
Do we have somebody we need to give you? Sloopy?
Okay, so I keep looking at myself. I got to get away from that monitor because I'm going to keep looking down, right? So I called you all here today because I don't know why, but you did. What are we up to now? Did we just start?
What do you think about VCF West?
Oh, it's pretty great. I mean, you can see the room, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice space. We did, well, I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Steve Diederich from the VitNerd YouTube channel, which we actually crossed 1,000 subscribers this weekend.
All right. Congrats.
Excellent.
So we are no longer sub 1,000 or sub 1K, and I feel different. I can retire now. So yeah, no more videos. I'm just gonna ride the wave.
I've won and I'm out.
So we did VCF Southwest, which was in Dallas, which being in California is now Southwest to me, but it is South. And that was a beautiful venue. If anybody saw the videos or had attended that they got a really nice venue there. And then this is a great venue as well. So I don't know if you've talked at all about Vintage Computer Festival SoCal. Can we? I gotta match it up there. So this is a thing, and if you take a screenshot or whatever, go to the website. We're actually putting on the VCF SoCal early 2024. It's a brand new VCF. We nobody's done it yet, and we don't have a date because we don't have a venue. And as soon as we find the venue, we'll have a date. But we are looking at the LA metro area, and but away from the traffic, and probably late January. Yeah, late January, maybe early February. Again, depends on the venue and the date we can get. Now, being an Atari guy, there will be Ataris there, but CoCos are welcome.
It'll be 68 degrees and sunny, right?
Yeah, 68 degrees and sunny.
And the Southern California people will be wearing their big coats because it's cold.
Oh, no. You know, I'm actually a Northeastern boy. I grew up in upstate New York, Syracuse, New York. Go Orange, right?
Rochester
and,
here.
When I moved to Southern California 8 years ago, actually, I left my snow boots, my shovels, my winter jackets, gloves, hats, scarves, everything, my long johns. Yeah, left all of that back in New York, and haven't looked at it since. So, but up here in Northern California, you can get cold.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah,
And
sometimes.
I didn't realize I was muted, so. You guys
So
see it?
who have we got online here?
Oh,
Let me bring up the panel here.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Ah.
I don't think I've met anybody in person here yet, right?
No.
There we go. Now you can see everybody.
Yeah.
Have you been to VCF East or VCF Midwest?
I have not.
Well,
No, Southwest was our first VCF that we've been to.
There were CoCo people there, but none that are usually on the panel here.
Yeah. Okay. So I've gone down a rabbit hole in the last year and a half or two with the YouTube channel where, again, Ataris, I've got a whole bunch of Ataris, but I've really gotten into the other computers. Every computer had its quirk and its flavor, what it did, what it couldn't do, what engineers overcame to do. And when you got to the PC DOS compatibles, everything was just, the gray boxes and everything was the same. So I've gone down a rabbit hole of buying CoCos. I've got an MC10. I now have a CoCo 3 along with a CoCo 2. By the way, I have a CoCo 2 for sale. I just got the CoCo 3.
as long as you don't have any Commodores, we're good.
No, he said he had one.
I have a 64, a 128. I have a couple SX64 luggables.
Yay!
Yeah. Cool. So I picked up a CoCo 3 a few weeks ago. Somebody was selling it. It came with the multi-pack and the CoCo 3 and an SDC and all that drives and everything working. and I won't tell you the price because you'll hate me for it. But I really lucked out on that one. I was looking, I wanted my hands on a CoCo 3 because I want to do more with them.
Yeah.
And I realized CoCo 2, as fine of a machine it is, it had a little more limitations than the CoCo 3.
True, that's true. Yeah.
So
Graphical limitations and memory.
yeah, so I've got the 512K now in the CoCo 3. So I plan on doing some stuff. But I'll tell you guys, I can't believe Atari has the SIO port where I can daisy chain on a floppy drive and a printer and the cassette and everything else that goes on the SIO port. And then when I got into the doing with the playing with the CoCo 2, I'm like, you have one slot for programs and everything else. And so I'm like, I got to get a multi-pack now.
So now
And
you
then
have one.
yeah, and that only limits you to 4 devices. So I now, in my older age, feel your pain of having a CoCo many decades ago, where you had to add more. It could have been worse. You could have had the MZ10s, right?
Well, you could have had the TI-99, where the full thing would be covering my entire table. Just
Right,
down
right.
and down and
All
down
the
and
side
down and
cards
down
on
and
the
down, all
side.
sidecars.
Right. But you know what the solution is to that? Is to throw all that out and buy a 40-pound PEB box, and then put the cards in the PEB box that you can't fit anywhere.
Well, that's the benefit of the CoCo over the TI. With the CoCo, you can buy the individual carts and use them individually, or you can get the expansion pack and put them in there. But with the TI, once you buy the individual carts, once you get the PEB box, you have to throw out those carts you've already bought and buy new cards for the PEB box, because you can't put those cards in the PEB box.
Right. Although nowadays, through the miracle of technology, like you can get the card to put your synthesizer or speech synthesizer on to put it in the PEB box. So,
well, a lot of us also did repacks, like what's behind me.
Hey, I didn't catch you yesterday,
so I wanted to pop over and say hi to you guys. I got invited to come over and check it out. So it looks like you're having fun. Someday maybe I'll make it to CoCo Fest.
Yeah, you should also come on our show sometime as a guest and tell us about your experiences with the CoCo.
Yeah, it'd be great. I appreciate that. It's obviously a little crazy here today. So if anybody wants to check out Atari, just go to thevitnerd.com and or VitNerd on YouTube. But definitely go to if I'm allowed to say again.
Oh yeah, of course.
Go to vcfsocal.com. Throw in your email address, and we will notify people when we have a venue and a date for VCF in Southern California.
Okay.
Hey,
cool.
That's cool.
Well, thank you for inviting me over. Enjoy.
Yep.
Thanks.
Hey, okay. I'll trade places with you.
Sorry for interrupting.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're live.
Yeah, you should have like a big a red recording light. But anyway, okay, so we have people.
If we had a red recording light, everyone would run.
Say who you are.
Oh wow, there's like we have what do we call it, a hybrid experience. Cool. Is this the group of people who actually remember how to program a 6809?
You have entered.
There's some of us who do, yes.
Yes. Okay. And who is it that I know that's a CoCo person? It's Strick.
Yeah, Strick.
Yes, but
Strick is local to our area.
Yeah, and I talked to him. He's gonna be in Germany this month or something. So
that's the Chaos Show.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, Strick's writing all of our network stuff right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so my 6809 story is I wrote a serial driver for a custom 6809 computer that was made down in Cupertino. And that's how I met Burl Smith. That's kind of cool.
Ooh,
cool.
Nice.
And because I had just done the serial driver for ProDOS for the 6502, and they're like, "Hey, before you go, can you do this thing?"
How much experience do you have with the CoCo?
What?
How much CoCo experience?
Well, I had a CoCo. I the chiclet keyboard of the first one kind of turned me off. And my folks bought me a 99.4. But then later on, the 99.4, even though it was a 16-bit CPU, was really kind of crappy.
6809.
Yeah, right. So then I got a CoCo too. So that was kind of fun.
Much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, surprisingly, you would think a 16-bit CPU would just. I guess that's when I learned that just because you have a 16-bit CPU, the rest of the system is important. So,
do you have a
question here? I don't know if you introduced yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Maeve Hamrick. So
I didn't hear.
Maeve Hamrick.
Maeve Hamrick. Okay.
Yeah.
And somebody on the panel says you look familiar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you. So
yeah,
I guess it's yeah. Okay. Okay. No, I'm also deaf or partially deaf. All right. I think we say hard of hearing is the polite term.
Do you have a show?
Not really. Hold on. My hair is distracting in there. Okay, it looks slightly better. No, but I go around and so I attend the Asilomar Microcomputer Workshop, and I'm trying to get some of the old geeks there to sit for oral history interviews.
Cool.
So I mean, because I don't know if you've seen the Computer History Museum here. They have their YouTube channel. They have a lot of really good interviews. If I can say Chuck Peddle and not get
you can.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I mean he's much more associated with the 65-bit. Yeah, Chuck did a very good, and Bill Hurd and all sorts of people were interviewed. So, but there's still an amazing number of people who know all of this history who we haven't heard their story. It hasn't been recorded. So that's kind of my mission now. But
thank you for doing that.
Okay.
We have a bunch of stars here in CoCo Nation that we've done the same
okay.
thing.
Yeah. No, it's I guess you can just go up to YouTube, maybe just a directory of where to find old to find oral histories. That would maybe that's what I should do, because there's plenty of good stuff online.
And what we're missing.
Huh? Oh yeah, yes, and right. And it's like, yeah, Bob Franston, I keep bumping into him, and he is not set for an oral history interview. And it's like, dude, you're like, pretty much responsible for making the Apple II a thing, because that VisiCalc was that, killer app. And everybody else in that era I think we didn't know enough about marketing to know that we needed a killer app.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the killer app for my 99.4 or my CoCo or my Atari? Well, okay, Star Raiders was the killer app for the Atari 8-bit. Okay, we do know that.
Parsec for the TI.
Yeah. I can't stand Parsec. I'm the
with the speech pack though. It's gotta have the speech.
What was it? Tombstone. Oh, Tombstone City, if you remember that one, because that was the example program in the editor assembler. And I was able to kind of reverse engineer the algorithm for it and know when all the monsters would show up and just be perfectly. So yeah, suddenly my Tombstone City scores went through the roof. But
or of algorithms.
Yes. And
do you do a lot of these shows?
Unfortunately not. I don't have the ability to get to the shows as often as I'd like to. It's like maybe once every 3 years I'll be able to come down here. But I was actually I randomly started listening to what was it? The K Savitz Antic podcast. And that I really appreciate that podcast because it sort of reminded me of how many people are out there that I've just never heard of, and pretty much everyone they interviewed had something interesting to say.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
and we have lessons to impart for those who are getting in now. So
yes.
My kids just turned 21 and I've been raising them on retro their whole life.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's kind of fun for them to, cross paths with the kids that don't have the exposure. And it's great to see people light up with, wait, this was what was going on, man. It's like, that's how cavemen lived.
Well, and it was a difference. I was just talking with Steve over there, at the Beeb table, the logo Beeb table. And in our day, you booted up into a programming language. We were still thinking, or someone was still thinking that people would be writing their own programs. And I think that what the IBM PC taught us was, no, there's this big, huge market. Because the CPM world was kind of like that, right? It's like, this is for business. We have business apps. And the PC came and became a more popular
is it
CPM.
a toy?
Yeah. Right.
And a lot of people bought a machine at home as a toy. I went to the Atari 2600 to basically, can I make an Atari game myself on this thing?
Right.
And at work, everyone was saying, I need a new tool. So
Yep. And no, but I mean, and I like to tell people that if you're doing Excel, you are programming. That's a data flow machine. You're a programmer if you're doing Excel macros. And a lot of people think that's stupid, but hey, no, it's true. You are doing a program. And I mean, yeah, sure. Not everybody is going to be hacking, and not everyone has to know what the sex opcode does, but which admittedly, 13-year-old me was that kind of endeared me to the 6809.
We all still chuckle every time we flip past that page in the reference. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Need to extend the sign at the moment, but
didn't the 6800 have a halt and catch fire? There was like a testing opcode or something.
There is yes.
Don't remember.
Did that?
Don't remember if it was 6800 or 6809. I don't, but one of them did, I think.
Oh, and I know that. I know the VAX actually had one, but it was undocumented. And then they removed it from the CPU and documented it because because they're digital. But no, and I actually kind of remember in the late 80s, I guess Z80 was popular for little embedded controllers, and then also 6809. I had a couple of 6809s, and I mean it was the CoCo who basically gave me the infrastructure to a decent little cheap assembler and
Let me ask you, do you even know what a dragon is?
Oh, I know what a dragon is. I mean, I am willing to bet there might be one here, but I don't remember ever seeing one. I got in a little bit of trouble by misremembering that the BBC micro had a 6809. He's like, no, that's the dragon. Yeah. I was like, oh well, yeah.
English.
No, and it's like, and and I had a friend who was big into the CoCo, who actually bought the floppy drive. Was able to do S9 or Flex. I can't remember, one of the two, I guess. Oh, hey, there we go. Someone's doing something real.
I think it's Liz.
Anyway.
What?
Okay, hey, there's some other people lining up. So it was great to meet you. And this is the CoCo Nation.
Yep.
I'm sure I can find you. Right. I've already scanned.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You have a link to it. So.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Likewise. Take care, people.
Thanks a lot.
Get my copy and. All right.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea. I can't really hear him. I have no idea who that guy is, but hopefully you guys enjoyed talking to him for a little bit.
Yeah.
He did say his name, but
we'll
have to go back and look at the show notes.
What did you just run? C basic. Okay. I think C basic is it runs color basic from inside of Flex. There's another one I don't know if I have it I don't know if I have it on this particular disk. There's another one called D basic that actually has disk. So this one has no disk access. I think you have to do
Very cool. People actually
exact
digging into Flex.
Charlie Delta 03 or something like that to get out of this one.
Hey, Mike, you're right there at the,
Exact. EXEC, exact. Ampersand H. And Charlie Delta 03.
Mikey, see if you can get,
That's not right. Yeah, all right.
Mikey, see if you can get a youngster on the
Let's see if I
headset. We'll ask him questions if he knows anything
Oh,
about a color computer.
who do you want to talk to?
Well, there was a couple of young guys that come by and stared and then left. If you can
Well,
get one
they
of
want to
them.
talk to you, so one of you can pick up the headset.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi.
So, have you messed with a CoCo before?
No.
And what do you think?
So it looked like I was in some of their DOS system before, but now I'm like stuck in the basic.
Aha.
Yeah, well, we can't see what you're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So, yeah, Ron, they're running Flex. And
We're running Flex, of course.
I think they started up C Basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started C Basic, and that runs color basic. So let's go back into Flex. I'm trying to type upside down.
The basic run.
Yeah.
Date. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Ooh, funky. Let's see. It's
It's 0805123. I think you need space. Let's see if
Oh, you have to put a space between. Oh,
I think you need spaces. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a capture set up. There you go. All right. Yeah, if you had done D basic instead of C basic, you can type Flex to get out of it. But
Okay.
anyway,
So like dir worked before, I believe. Yay. All the stuff. It looked like it has like a C assembler and stuff like that on here.
Yep.
yeah, how
Generally, they would have a
compiler and
development
assemblers
farm.
both. Yes.
Wow.
So you have an editor, you have an assembler, you might have a high level language interpreter, you've got
Huh.
some sort of DOS commands. That's there's a couple of OSs for the CoCo at the time. Flex is one of them. And I mean, that's kind of, this was state of the art for, the late 70s, early 80s. You had, a screen, you had commands, you had storage that had more stuff in it. And then, we come along with DOS, kind of standardized the idea, but a lot of people had a lot of different approaches that were very, very much like this.
Wow.
Yeah. This one is gonna break. I don't know. I still don't know exactly what I did wrong. I have to figure out what happened. It's gonna the linker is gonna blow up.
Linker's gonna run out of memory or something.
No. There's a linker problem. I don't.
Oh, I see.
What because it's as you'll see, it'll complain, and you'll I think you'll scratch your head too.
Okay. Got 2-pass C compiler on here. Then it's gonna assemble it.
Not too shabby for 8 bits,
Yeah.
64K.
Well, I used to run Manxy on my Commodore 128.
It's doing the linker, and then it's gonna go. See, so
Oh, you're not
how
getting
did
picture.
I get that wrong?
You
I
got
don't know.
put char in there, huh?
It's the linker is complaining that it can't find put car, and it's a C program. So anyway,
Let's see if we can fix it.
it's list.
Here we go, live debugging.
Oh,
List.
Oh, list, not type. That's right. Test.c. Out of here.
That is the fun of these events.
All right.
There's just so much stuff that goes on.
Yeah. You can continue to play if you want, or move on. If you're interested, you can scan some of the QR codes. The people here on the show are the CoCo Nation, and their link is down here on the board.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I've never seen this particular OS on the Tandy
Thank
before.
all right, guys. People are just gonna come by, and I have to do my job and talk to them and tell them what's going on and
Represent.
help them actually do the presentation. So first guy was talking a little bit long-winded, but hopefully that was okay. Or the second guy.
It's all good.
Cool. So yeah,
Both of them were excellent.
it's been a pretty good show. Let's see, what time is it now? It's 11:30. There were quite a few people right around 11 when we started the show. Would you like to talk to some CoCo people? You can put on the headset if you want. You have your own mute and volume here. So yeah. Just unmute you here. So this is
the person that does nibbles and bites.
That's correct. It's June, and she does nibbles and bites on YouTube, and her channel is actually pretty interesting. She does a lot of explanation of how to do programming on Commodore 128 and some assembly language programming and all kinds of stuff. It's a pretty interesting YouTube channel.
Yeah, I met her at VCF Midwest last year.
Yeah,
Hi, June.
that's Sloopy. Hey there. Sloopy is the one kind of in the middle there with the CoCo Nation. So yeah,
wrong button.
Yeah, show her. She looks better than me. I could scare a freight train down a dirt road. So
So Commodore 128. How about any CoCo or 6809?
I actually have a CoCo 3 in the lab, and I'm planning on getting some stuff working for that as well.
Awesome.
Yep. Are you going to be at VCF Midwest this year?
Yes, I am actually. Interesting thing.
Yep.
What am I hearing?
What's that?
Oh, okay.
If this is annoying, I can turn this off for the moment.
Oh, that's no big deal. I was just trying to make sure there wasn't anything flooding the mic.
No.
But yeah, so he was actually teaching me about Flex. While I was here yesterday. It's actually really awesome. The fact that there's a C compiler on here and everything.
Flex.
I've been teaching everybody about Flex.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's been flexing his flex.
Right.
Yeah, I'm actually really envious of you guys because the 6809 has that relocatable stack and relocatable zero page, which is so cool.
Yes.
Like I only get that on the 128D, or rather on the 128. So when I go over to the 64, it's like, oh God, what's
it? Yes, you do.
6502, you can't move the zero page. You have 8-bit index registers. How do you do stuff?
A fixed stack.
Of
Very
course,
poorly.
The 6809, when they designed it, they really had high-level languages in mind. So that's why you have 16-bit indexing and 2 stack registers. Hello, frame pointer.
Yep.
Oh, we're getting deep.
Okay, I gotta run, but it was nice chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, let us know how it goes with the CoCo 3.
There's a last minute question. Let us know how it goes with the CoCo 3. So thank you.
Yeah, she's a very awesome person.
Yes, she is. I talked to her a little bit, but as she said, I talked to her the other day on yesterday when she stopped by. So she found Flex to be pretty interesting. So
yep.
Okay, cool. So a little later on, like after lunch, you want to do a walk around?
Yeah, I mean, I can pan over to the other side of the room just quickly from this vantage point here. Right across the way over here, looks like they have some the table facing us. They have some game machines, and if you see behind the row behind immediately behind them, you see big boxes and monitors back there, the backs of them.
Yep.
Those are Sun workstations, and then across the way, all the way in the back with the monitors facing us is Amiga, and then down on this side, somebody's got a deck machine of some kind. I don't remember. I haven't actually talked to all these exhibits, so might do that a little bit while walking around. There's a deck machine. There's an HP. There's an Apple One down there. There's some Macintoshes, more Macintoshes. There are a ton of Macintoshes in this show. I cannot even believe it.
I even see the toilet seat laptop.
Is there a G3?
Yeah,
actually,
behind the guy in the pink shirt.
Yeah, I see now. So
keep going left. Yeah.
And then farther back, if you see the one with the two posters, I wanted to be next to that exhibit, but unfortunately, I didn't make it. That guy has a luggable portable computer from 1976 with 6800 in it.
Nice.
And he told me that he took this luggable computer to school with him. And I asked him, "Did anybody bully you?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I was a geek anyway." I'm like, I mean, in my day when I brought that kind of stuff to school, I was made fun of quite a bit, but but that was in the 80s when people maybe knew what home computers were, Anyway, that exhibit back there is really, really interesting. And then I'm not sure what they have in the middle section, but all the way on the back wall, you see where they have the yellow stripe on the back wall back there?
Mm-hmm.
That entire wall is full of Macintoshes. That entire back wall. And wow.
Do any of them are any of them running OS 9?
I don't think so. So I was talking to Curtis about OS 9 for the Macintosh, and I don't know if that's available. The guy behind. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, the guy. You see the bracing. We're really serious about earthquake bracing here. But behind that, you see some people back there. Guys got a PDP-11 and an ADM3A terminal over there. And the PDP-11 is controlling an LED sign. That's pretty interesting exhibit. So.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, that's what I can see from the booth here.
Are there any other?
The show is all one big room?
No. The Computer History Museum used to be actually an office building for Silicon Graphics, SGI. And so this used to be their corporate headquarters. So this is a very huge building. And so we're just in one room. There's a main outside the door. There's a main atrium that has some people in it. We'll see if you guys know about Macintosh Librarian is out there. Her I don't know if you've seen her videos, but for me, Macintosh Librarian, sometimes they're too cute for me. I'm like, oh, but they're fun videos. The Sphere computer is out there, and then there's a whole nother section with the consignment. So it's actually multiple rooms. It's pretty much covering, I think, about half of we're on the second floor. I think it's about half of the second floor.
When you say consignment, that's an area for sale?
That's
Stuff for
correct.
sale?
And since I've mostly been trying to exhibit and tell people about what I'm doing, which is a good thing because my wife would absolutely kill me if I bought stuff. But unfortunately, I've got free stuff.
Is there any other CoCo displays or even Tandy displays?
There are not. I have managed to do the only one. So maybe one of these days we can do another CoCo group, because that went over very, very well.
Well, then I guess we're
in 2019. I sponsored the entire thing. I emptied out every single CoCo that I had in my collection and brought it down to make it easier for people who need to travel. And we could, in the future, we could arrange something like that, where if you travel a long way, if you want a basic CoCo 2 or CoCo 3 with monitors, I can supply that part of it, and you can bring some other stuff. That's a possibility if you guys want to do it. So maybe we could do a CoCo Nation at VCF West next year or something, because CoCo is definitely underrepresented this year.
Yeah, I blame Marco and Tim Lindner for the lack of CoCo representation there.
Sorry, I don't know what Tim's excuse was, but I had other things come up. I thought about it earlier, but
yeah,
it's Tim lives near me, but we were about 10-hour drive from the Bay Area now. So, but still,
he also used to live in California too. So
right, he in 2019. Tim Lindner was local, so it was easier for him to get here.
Is there a Steve Batson there? I saw that he was supposed to be there.
Yes, Steve Batson was around.
He lives near Sacramento, if I remember right.
Yeah,
he would be.
I spoke to Steve Batson a few times, so but I don't see him right at this moment.
Smile.
Yeah, pictures of taking pictures. I may have to do my job. Oh, guess not. Bye.
Put them on.
You had a CoCo 2 way back in the day?
Oh yeah. Back in the early 80s.
Yeah. So what I'm showing here is I'm showing an operating system that the CoCo folks basically forgot about.
Okay.
Flex came out in originally in like 1978.
Okay.
For 6800, and then they ported to 6809 around 1980. The color computer was 1980. The color computer got the disk drive in 1981. There was no disk, and then Flex came in 1982.
Okay.
And in 1983, they had the official OS 9 port for the CoCo. And when OS 9 came out, everybody forgot about Flex.
Okay.
So
what was Flex like?
Well, it's here. That's what's running here. Basically, it's a very, very straight up kind of traditional disk operating system.
Okay.
And that's distinct from basic. It's not a basic interpreter, it's an operating system. So it provides a kernel and file management, and you have a disk driver and a terminal driver.
Right. So it has commands, like dir type
yes.
commands.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and it'll slowly do it. So yeah. So I am live streaming at the moment. If you have any other questions, you can let me know, and I will answer them.
So is there an interrupt to interrupt the directory listing key?
No, not in this one that I ported.
Okay.
That's something I'll have to. I had to do because this is a 51 character screen. I had to do a little bit of porting work. The original version that I ported from, you could actually stop it by hitting enter or something. So it's a list.
List.
Yeah. So he's typing away on the flex here.
What's his name?
What's your name?
Jason.
Jason. Okay. You know, I could probably show you guys what he's doing.
So the setup is to set some sort of the setup command is set some sort of machine register, like for the video mode or stuff like that, or what did setup do?
Oh, what setup actually does is it as operating system configuration. So setup, you can configure like the disk drives, what their parameters are, double-sided, single density tracks. You can set up terminal parameters and some other things like that. So
and well, it's got a D and a T. So was this just stored in like a 32-bit word somewhere in some configuration register?
No, it's a string that gets parsed.
Okay.
That does different things. I actually don't have the instructions for no. I do have the instructions for setup. Let me see if I can find that. All right, I'm going to switch here on the OBS and see if I can't find the instructions for. Can you guys see my screen on there?
Yep.
So it has a cat command, but when I typed cat, then it didn't execute cat. Do I have to do something to execute the cat.command file?
No.
Maybe I did type cat. I'll try.
See if I can answer this guy's questions if we have setup. You know, guys, if you read some of the reviews in Rainbow about Flex, one of the things they say is the documentation is really good, which we're looking at here. I can make this a little smaller. So here you go. Here's a manual for setup.
Okay.
Option field, as I said, it's alphanumeric strings that can control different things. PB, right? I actually say setup disk. So the one that you saw, disk starts with a drive number and then the drive options, and then. So there's a whole bunch of different things. How we have to spend time to read RTFM to figure out what this thing is actually. But set up printer, set up memory, set up disk. I see what's going on now. I'll be a little bit better. Set up memory.
Yeah, because you have the
printer, set up terminal, etc. So that's what the setup command does.
Yeah, so this used the same. I forget the name of the standard. The same disks that the early IBM PCs were using. They had 80 sectors per track and
no, 48 TPI. So 40 tracks, single or double sided, single or double density.
Okay.
So anywhere from 80 kilobytes single sided to you could do this system, you can do double-sided double density, so you can get just under 360, not exactly 360.
Okay, yep. Yep, cool. And so I see a bunch of C files on it. So did they actually have a native C compiler, or
it's called the Mapache C compiler. So they originally wrote the compiler for Flex, and then they also ported the compiler to OS 9. So it's the same. It's almost exactly the same C compiler on Flex and OS 9.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, cool.
Do you have a CoCo?
No, I had one. I had one when I was growing up, but I didn't keep it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a CoCo and a VIX one and a TRS 80.
Cool.
So yeah, that's yeah, I've never heard of the operating system before. So that's cool. Yeah, I've had more time. Interesting to see how they shoehorned in a secret pilot into that little of a
Yeah.
footprint.
Well, I'm as I showed you before, I am streaming live on the CoCo Nation at the moment. But if you come back later in the afternoon, this will be done, and we can talk some more if you want.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Well, that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, there,
I keep looking at the watch, and we're almost 1 hour in. So, do you guys have any questions? Want me to pan again, or
No,
do we want to come back to this later?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break, get some Game On Challenge, some news, and when we come back, you can take us on a tour.
All right. Yes, I will set up for portable while you guys are doing Game On Challenge and whatnot. So.
Okay, that sounds good. And,
all right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Mikey.
Sure.
And with that, we will take a break and refill the coffee.
Hey, Amy. Hey, Taylor. We're watching the CoCo Nation Show. Yeah, we are. Woo! You should too.
Hello, everyone. It's your good buddy, your good pal, Amigo, and joined by that dastardly The Brent from ARG Presents.
You're watching CoCo Nation.
I feel like that should have been longer.
The CoCo Nation Show would like to thank the following patrons: Alex Gare, Brendan Donahue, Brian Walsh, Brian Weasler, Kieran Anscombe, Coconut Bob, Daddy Burrito, Diego BF109, Don Barber, Eric Canales, Glenn Hewlett, Glenn Wabke, Grant Leedy, Henry Strickland, John Bodovkarshaller, Justin Larson, Ken Reichard, Kevin Holloway, Mike Rayburn, Patrick Euland, Paul Fiscarelli, Paul Shoemaker, R. Allen Murphy, Retro Tech Time, Rob Inman, Rocky Hill, Steve Batson, Terry Steege, Tom C., Tom Gunderson, Tom S., Tony C., and William A. Thing. Thank you so much, patrons.
Welcome to
And we are back. We didn't have a new Discord this week, so okay.
We will next week.
All right, flipping buttons. All right, Sloopy, you ready? I guess that's a yes. All right, take it away, Sloopy.
Let's see here. Greetings. This week we played Balloon Fire. All right. By Terry Steen, as we all know. We had 16 archers. In 16th place, we had Marco with 2270.
Yay, not zero.
In 15th place, we had Ed Rhodes with 2520. 14th place, we had a last minute entry of Exile in Paradise at 3410. I must say congrats, Alan, because you did better than Sloopy in being late. 13th, we have Henry with 77.20. 12th, we have Mark B with 82.30. Which reminds me, how was level 2?
Did I find a level 2?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
you actually got to level 3.
I did?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. That's just like almost the first.
11th, we had Canadian Retro Things at 84.10. 10th place, we had Rich N at 86.40. 9th, we had the man himself, Terry Steen, at 88.50. 8th, we had Brian Weisler, at 92.10. 7th, that Canadian game player, L. Curtis Boyle, at 95.60. At 6th, we had this guy at 12,350. 5th, we had Shenley at 12,930. 4th, we had Sabhead at 14,110. 3rd, we had that other trifecta of the Game On Challenge, Jim Rye at 17,360. Number 2, we had Buck Owens at 18,380. So that means the number 1 archer is, can anyone guess? All right, your bets are in the books.
Tasman.
Tasman at 19,760. Thanks for playing. So
we've really got to make a salute for Tasman.
But
the manual.
We need a Buck Owens versus Tasman face off.
Yeah, the showdown.
The playoff round.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As long as they show up.
But yeah, I wasn't able to really find much in the way of reviews for this. But then my Google skills are not as good as Curtis or Ken. But we did have the programmer himself, our very own Terry Steen, on the show Thursday, basically talking about the game and his games in general and programming. I would highly recommend going back to, and watching it. Not right now. Continue to watch the show, but after the show, later tonight, after you've had dinner, watching at least the first hour. I mean, yeah, the second hour is kind of like slow going, but at least the first hour, because he discusses making this game and other games and other such wonderful stuff. So
was that after I fell asleep?
Yes. So basically, when it came to balloon fire, the biggest recommendation was just go back and forth and make sure you shoot a lot.
Rapid fire would be helpful in this one, because I find I wasn't firing fast enough.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, when they got to level 4, they hit a wall because it would go too fast, and it would have one all on the left side, and then you'd have to go all the way to the right and not quite make it, or the right side and then go to the left side and not quite make it. So basically it was more of a whole thing of getting as many points as you can per man until you got to that level. And then once you lost your life at that level, it reset down to a lower level and then continue getting as much score as you could. Several people have noticed that at the 5,000 mark, sometimes you'd get 1 extra life and other times you'd get 2 extra lives. And this was actually seen on the stream too. So that, I think some of the highest scores were gotten when it gave you 2 extra lives. But anyone else have any comments on the gameplay this week?
What year was that game?
I do believe 84, 85. Let me look real quick. There we go.
So this game had a little trick on it. When you got to about somewhere between 8 and 10,000, there'd be about 2 or 3 seconds where the game just basically crawled almost to a stop, and then it just picked back up again.
Yeah, there's no date on it. And the L. Curtis Boyle website fails us and just says 198 ? So whatever year that is. If anyone knows what year that is, I'd like to know.
Well, the strategy that I used, the one that Terry also talked about as well, was the fact that you're not limited by the number of arrows. So you might as well just keep hitting the button and dumping arrows whenever you're moving. And what worked well for me was just kind of hovering in the middle and just keep hitting the arrows. And so that way, if you get one going, just keep dumping arrows as you move to the left or move to the right. And because you never know while you're heading that way, another balloon might come up as you're moving, and you just keep catching them there. And then also too, just don't stop shooting. Even if you're all the way to the left and one pops up on the right, just keep going, because you might be at that 499 mark or something, and you catch one balloon, all of a sudden you get an extra life, even though you don't make it all the way over there to get that balloon. So just don't stop shooting.
Yeah, because I got that at 99.90 and died. So
fun game. And Sloopy also too. I wasn't able to be on the Game On Challenge this last Thursday, but I was playing the Thursday before when we first started it though, and he did a nice interview with him. I thought it was all good questions, and Terry had a lot to say about his game, so it was a good interview to listen to. As you said, it's worth going back and listening. So.
Oh, good. See, I'm not crazy. I do know what I'm talking about sometimes.
It's a fun game.
Any input from your game playing, Marco or Alan?
It's difficult in the emulator with the mouse.
Yeah, return to center. Whenever you get one of the balloons on the edge, go back into the center, because you don't know if it's going to be that far one on the other side next. So yeah, keep raining arrows, of course, but try to stick to the center until you have to go out to one of the edges, and then return back to the center.
Just like ping pong, you never know which way the ball's going to come back at you.
And Mikey's got 3 people over there right now, and they're pointing, and their hands are going, so it must be interesting.
How many of you used keyboard versus mouse or joystick?
I used keyboard, but it's digital control, so it wouldn't really make a big difference using a original controller or a mouse. From this view, it looks like Marco is just watching Mikey Furman on his stream.
3 monitors.
Yeah. So, is there any other questions or?
Well, it sounds like from listening to the interview that Terry does want to find some time here and revisit some of his other programs. He mentioned wanting to revisit his Defender. So maybe we have some games in the future coming down the pipe from him.
Ooh. Yeah, that was my next question. If he's working on anything currently, or what's in his CoCo?
Yeah, he's not working on the on anything specifically CoCo at the moment. He's working on another project, but he wants to revisit the games he's made and see if he can do improvements with his larger skill set, and is considering finishing out a couple games that he had actually found the source code for, but hasn't found it. Basically, all the details are in the Game On Challenge stream live. So
he seems like a really nice guy. Is he?
Yes, he is a very nice guy. I met him at CoCo Fest.
Yeah.
So great guy. You should come to CoCo Fest and meet him too, and everyone else.
I was at the last one.
Yeah, and everyone there out in Viewerland. You should come to CoCo Fest. So.
Well, do we have a new game for next week?
That's what we're going to do next. So everyone's been surmising and guessing and wondering what the game for next week is. Everyone is saying, ooh, they want this game or that game. Well, the thing is that
Sloopy wants Neutroid.
I would love Neutroid, but it's not ready yet. The programmer's too busy sleeping while in front of a certain unnamed show about the Tandy Color computer.
So we keep putting the programmer to sleep, which is delaying Neutroid. Got it.
Right. So, and let's see here. What is the new game? Ooh, it's something on the Dragon. Yes, we will be playing an exclusive Dragon game this week that has not been converted to the CoCo yet. So let's see what the game is. It's Folly Farms Chicken Run.
Chicken Run.
And remember, people, it is illegal to copy this tape, so do not offer it for rent or hire. And if you remember correctly, this was featured in the Dragon section from last week. And I tried it out, and it's a nice, satisfyingly playable game. So,
just say it's not been converted for the CoCo.
That is correct. It's only it only has a version for the Dragon.
So how are we going to play it?
Well, most people play on emulators, so, and then you've also got the fact that this show is dedicated to the Tandy Color computer and its hardware relatives, which the Dragon 32 is one of them. And then you also have the Tano Dragon.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to convert it.
Oh my God.
Find the key map.
Get right on that.
Isn't there a way that from the Dragon archive that you can click on games and it takes you to a website where you're doing an emulator that way?
Correct.
Yes. Yes, that's doable also. And XROR will emulate a Dragon itself because
here's Nick's real question.
Dragon emulator.
Are you going to make me have to touch an emulator? Because emulators.
No, I'm going to make you go and pull your Dragon out to play. You do have
Is
a
it
Dragon,
keyboard
right?
or joystick?
I do.
Joystick.
Well, it'll work then.
We'll give it a try.
Yeah, the joystick works the same on both. It's only if it's a keyboard only. This is where you get a problem.
Just picking the level might be a little interesting.
Right, R through I.
Well,
What is
the
that?
keys will work. You
A
just
through
have
I.
to find which key
Yep.
is mapped to the, whatever the letters are, A there and I. Well, A will be mapped elsewhere. You just got to find it.
You people.
Maybe we can figure out when it's hitting the key thing, go find where those are in the code and map it to the other key set.
Or pull out your Dragon and play it on your Dragon.
So you're saying you're going to hunt and peck.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to do.
And this is a chicken game.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Ron nailed it right up front. That's
Is there any
absolutely correct.
So what was the other?
music in this?
What was the other game we played this week?
That was
Bingo Clone, the Mutant Warehouse.
yes, Mutant Warehouse. I mean, come on. the show is supposed to be about the CoCo and the Dragon and the CP400 and all those other computers that
Max,
that Brian
we'll give it-
Weisler has squirreled away in his closet.
Okay, well, we'll give it a shot.
So
How many dragons you got, Brian?
What's that? How many dragons?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Run, Brian, run.
More than one.
They're trying to nail you down to a number.
I guess if it's for the record, I guess to answer the question, I got a 32, a 64, and 2 Tanos.
I have one co-dragon, and that's it. And when I play this game on the Game On Challenge Live, I will be playing the co-dragon.
That'll be fun. More
Is
swearing.
it on the archive?
It's what?
Is it on the CoCo archive to download it?
No, it's on the
World of Dragon archive.
World of
probably.
Dragon archive.
Ah, so not right. Okay.
I just have to figure out how to get it into my co-dragon. So, all right. That's the game on. We will be playing the Chicken Run, Folly Farms Chicken Run for the next 2 weeks. And we have another week of the warehouse. Y'all got me so flustered about trying to play on the CoCo. Warehouse Mutants.
Warehouse.
Yeah. Warehouse Mutants are, for another week. And I think that's all on for the Game On challenge. Back to you, Mark.
Okay. Let's see, what's Mike up to? More chit chat. All right. Shall we get into Game On news, or would we rather do updates first?
I'd rather have a cocktail.
We could do updates.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the Brian Weisler show.
He said cocktail because we just had that chicken game.
Let's see. Where's the screen I'm looking for? Oh, down here. There we are. Hey, there's the right one. All right, so project updates. Let's see, Ron, you're up first.
Yep. Okay. Should I go right to it, or are you going to play something?
I don't have anything to play, I don't think.
Okay.
Nothing I remember anyway.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Yours.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yep. Okay, I got a bunch of junk on here. Geez, all of a sudden I'm stupid here. I have nothing.
That looks like a granddaughter.
Yeah,
You just want to get the
grandson.
grandkids out there.
Grandson.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I gotta get rid of stuff here. So what we have here is the MC10 playing this morning some bingo, which is cool because it plays against the computer, and I win a lot, but you don't have to do anything, you just watch the thing. So it's kind of exciting that you don't have to push on those little tiny keys a lot, except to hit yes to play again. Anyway.
So it's like an MC10 idle clicker.
Yes, exactly. And then I've been doing some high color stuff again. This is a dog in both CoCo VGA and high color 2 image. And comes out pretty cool. A lot of color because this is a what? Color computer. That's right, folks. Here's a color computer with a lot of use that I found on eBay. It has worn off the battleship gray on the lip of the computer here. Do you guys have one in your possession that looks similar to this? With wear?
Not anymore.
Not like that.
Certainly doesn't show up much on a CoCo 3, does it? Or a 2?
I have one that's worn like that.
Do you?
Yep. Not that bad, but yeah, but it's pretty worn.
I have one from a school that has some of that on there. And I don't know if back in the day they made a guard that you can add on here. But I have a computer that has a guard that double-sided tape sticks on this edge so that your palms up a little, and it keeps the thing from wearing like that. But anyways, it's on eBay. If you click on it, you can look at the machine. I don't know if it's still there, but it's a little expensive. And then I've been playing around looking at a lot of my old floppies, and I bring up some sessions that I've done with CompuServe. And for you people that haven't been on or didn't know what CompuServe was like, this is my number, and this is what the front end looked like when you first got on. And that's back in '87. It's pretty cool. In this case, the background's flipped. You know, I think it's because of the program I'm using. I use Examine on Jeff Francis's disk utility. Are you familiar with that on the CoCo 2? Any of you? No? Yes? No. Okay, then these are screen prints of and some video of CDOS, which is in the disto controller that gives you a real-time clock, which we've had for years. Now, if you run this on a CoCo 3, you have to do a EXEC and put a number in to get it to recognize the electronics in it. And it does display it at the top corner if you hit clock on, like they did there.
Wasn't
And
CDOS Mikey was using on his demo?
is that what he was using?
That along
Anyway.
with Flex, right?
Yeah, I have 4 DOSes on this controller that you see here. And one of them is ADOS, which I programmed so that if you hit certain keys, like I can hit my name and Toledo, Ohio, where I lived at the time, and my CompuServe number. So it's always preserved now forever on the chip. And unless some light gets in there and erases my EEPROM. But anyway, I found a CoCo Pro disc that I had, which has a catalog of prices and stuff, the stuff they were selling. It was like a store. And this is the disc. And it has basically an online price guide. You know, you go on and log in and scroll through all the different prices for all the different things. Like in this case, it's the same controller I was just talking about for $130. Anyway, that's interesting. I got the in the file section, you can download the floppy and look at it with Telewriter, or this program I use. This one, Disk Utility by Jeff Francis. It's an old program that I've used for years, and it has Examine. You can see it over here. Examine file. So if you put a text file in here, it'll scroll up. You hit the space bar and you can examine the file. This one here is a for NASA. Is this the one? No.
Oh man, I haven't seen Space Link in forever.
Yeah, Space Link.
Yeah.
Awesome. I used to go there all the time. This is in May '92. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had that up on the amateur repeater for a while too.
Did they?
Yep.
Where am I? I hit the wrong thing. And there's Space Link on Wayback Machine, if you want to see what it looks like. And then I found another program I used to use all the time called Reverse. And if you hit Run Reverse, I put this up on my file section too. It makes your screen look like what you were looking at up there. Instead of this, you get this. And if you and it's like a terminate stay ready program. It's in memory, I guess. And if you can remember these addresses, you can call it back on if it gets erased, I guess, or something. Anyway, this I went to a site back in the day called Christian Free Forum, and this is what it was running on. I was real proud of being able to have it, you know. And it was on Mikey term. Is that how you say it? And pretty cool that it's got 41K free on the CoCo 2. And it's about it. Here's my dragon. And I have a bunch of these dragon, it's like a newsletter or a dragon disc. And it has all these changes. Yeah.
I had a question. And I don't think you know the answer. Wasn't Mikey term made by Rick Adams? Or was it somebody else?
I think so. I think so.
Or was that Ricky term?
Definitely Ricky term. I thought Mikey term was also made by Rick Adams. I was running it fairly recently.
Well, since I met you, every time I see this, I think of you first.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I actually thought you had wrote it.
No, he did DW term.
Oh,
but this
that I
is
did do. Okay, go back to you, Ron.
Yeah, this is a interesting little program where it asks you every time you select something, it asks you if you want to go to the screen or to the printer. And I guess that's just the way the Dragon did it back in the day. Anyway, it had some art on there, so I just printed that out, thought it was cool. And then this is my DS69B that I used back in the day, which I still have, which still works. And I had taken some pictures of my kid, and I just found this recently, so I thought I'd throw it up on my page. But you know, if you're careful and you take your time, you can make halfway decent pictures. But you can also get a lot of garbage sometimes. And I've gone through some pictures that I took that were just like, what exactly did I take that picture of? You know, I could not understand what I could possibly have taken a picture of. But anyway, that's about it. All the stuff I've been doing is if it's a file, it's up on my file section here, which has some software available for you to download. And it just goes on forever. So take a look at something you might want to see, download it, view it, enjoy it. And if you think of it, which would be cool for me, I don't care, you know, who am I? But if you ever get a chance to download something and it comes up on your machine and you think it looks nice or whatever, just shoot me a screen print of it, you know, put it up on Ron's Garage or put it on the CoCo group on Facebook, okay?
And for Cocoa Pie users, you have a lot of that stuff hidden in there. So look up Ron's pics on the Cocoa Pie as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the, every so often I take a bunch of my updated stuff, put it in a zip and send it to Ron Klein, and he includes it in the package. So, like I say, I'm one of the few people in the CoCo group here that's producing software almost every day.
Yep.
Putting it on my site. So, the color computer has someone who is making software a lot of the time. That's it for me. Bye now.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank
The artistic touch.
Looking on the archive, it looks like it was a Michael Ward that did Mikey Term. Michael Ward.
Oh, okay.
So it is his name directly.
Okay. Brian, you have anything to show us today?
I guess kind of a follow-up thing I can share with you guys. Let me get this out of the way here. Okay, let's see. Oh, ready?
Yep.
You know if are you okay? Were you spotlighting me or no? No. Okay.
Well, would you share? It changes the screen.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Whoop.
Except when you do that. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so a few weeks back here, I'd shown this keyboard that I bought from this guy down in Louisiana, and the story is that he was packing up some stuff and he didn't have room for everything, and so he had started to disassemble some of and he saved like the boards and things like that, and I'd shared some of the boards that I had also got from him, and this was the keyboard. Well, recently he posted something else. And let me see if I can, wrong way. We'll do this here. Let me back it up here. There we go. Well, he posted a case. Let me get this kind of positioned here a little bit. Sorry about all the cords around. So this happened to be the case. So he didn't get rid of everything, but he did have the case. And you can see here, there's the frame that would have been for this keyboard, because it had this insert that when you bought the keyboard, this third-party keyboard, the frame was there. And it just so happened to be that the board that I had also bought from him was the one that goes in there. So, and I had the transformer. So unfortunately, I got all the individual pieces from him at different stages, and I'm going to put it all back together. So I just haven't had a chance yet. So,
Does the keyboard have a stand on it?
Had the stand on it?
Yeah, so that it can fit into the.
Yeah, it's the one that has the
Mark Data one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it has like two legs.
Yep. So that'll set right in here then. What's kind of interesting though is
the logo. Yeah.
I'm guessing this must have maybe been like a custom badge, maybe that he made. Is it, or maybe if someone made that, I don't know. What's your guys' opinion on that?
That is not from Tandy.
I agree. Yeah, and it looked like something like someone went to a label company or something and made that. But I thought they did a nice job with it, though.
I wonder if he bought an aftermarket RAM kit.
Right, maybe they had
I've seen other ones similar to that. For, even like the TDP 100.
Okay.
Hey Brian.
Yes.
That covers up the. There's an LED hole, right?
Correct.
Underneath that. Okay, that covers that up.
Yep. So yeah, that's where like the little silver badge would have been. That would have been like 4K, 16K, 32.
But there's a hole there.
Correct.
For an LED. And the badge, the original badge covered up the hole, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the video connect light for the video text.
Correct. Yep.
So what red is the board? Is it a D or an E or what? I mean, with a case that old, you would think it'd be a C or D.
Yeah, let's see here. It is a. This is an E board.
E.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I just thought it was kind of interesting that I was fortunate enough to just in continuing to chat with him that all the other pieces seemed to line up and everything. So that was kind of.
What you don't have is the screws, I'll bet.
I have 3 of the screws. So
that's enough.
So,
that's plenty.
More than most of us to have.
Right. So
2
yeah,
is
so
enough.
So I do have a few of the screws, but yeah. So
do you have screws to hold down the motherboard?
No, but I'll probably locate something that'll work adequately enough for it. So at least get that back together. The other thing here I was going to show move some things around. He said, he goes, I have these power supplies around here. He goes, maybe you might want. He goes, if you want the case, he goes, I'll send you these. And oops, I still haven't taken this. Oh, he taped these up good. Sorry guys about all the noise here.
I don't think we're.
I'm gonna have to get out the old scissors here and just do some good old cutting. Here we go. But he had some power supplies, and they look like the ones that would have been like in the Tandy. Those are like the ones that would have been in like in the Tandy, like the 500, 501.
Yeah, the floppy drives, yes.
Yeah, the floppy drives. I'm sorry, yes.
I'm thinking the older 35 track drive.
Okay.
That's
kind
power
of
out,
scary.
Power in go.
Yep. Whoops, sorry. So I think there's actually 2 of them here that he had. And so he kind of just threw those in. So it might be good for a project or something, because I just have to probably get the right adapter, to tap in where the mains would have gone in.
Well, right, and the pinouts are pretty scary too. The ground's in the wrong place, and I mean, yeah, I would check everything about those before I plugged them into anything.
Right, because you'd have the. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Is this the? Yep. Okay, so here we go. It's all kind of coming together here a little bit. Let me show you this other picture here then, or not other picture. This other. Open up this other package.
Transformer.
Yep.
This should be a transformer.
Yep. Yep. So here's the other piece then. With this gone.
That's exactly. I'll be able to confirm that with you in a second when I pull 4 screws off my floppy drive.
So yeah, this would have came. They don't really line up though. Or no, here we go. Yep.
They go one way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So there we go.
But why does the drive power look weird to me? Shouldn't it be like 5 volt ground 12 volt into the floppy, not 12 volt 5 volt ground? That one looks like.
Right.
Unless the colors are just weird.
That's that. And I think I got one more here too.
I'm kind of jealous. You got stuff that you can try and see if it makes different colored smoke.
And and Brian, I've confirmed that is the power supply out of the original 3022 drive.
Oh, okay.
Because here we go, right here.
He's going to hold one up and show us. There it is.
Yep, there it is.
And it's got the little bracket underneath there to hold that connects up to the board, and then that transformer on the top here says FB201.
Okay.
Sweet. Original
stuff. I don't know how close we can get that there.
Ish.
So yeah, I got
that. So that is exactly what those came out of. Is one of these, one of those with the old door.
Okay.
No, those are pulls because they didn't work or because they did work.
Sounds like his gig is they did work, right?
I'm assuming they probably, I mean, there's probably no reason why these wouldn't work. I mean, there's not a whole lot of business going on here. Basically, you had a rectifier and some filtering, and then you got your couple regulators over here. So, I mean, it'd be safe to try it real easy. I mean, just first, hook up 120 up to here, check the outputs of this before connecting it, and as long as this is putting out the right voltage there, there's no reason why we wouldn't be getting our 512 and do they use a negative?
No, it's just +5 and +12.
Okay.
So I wonder why he would strip cases of that. It's like,
he said something about he was moving and didn't have the room, and so he was taking stuff out of the cases, but he wanted to save the parts for things, and so I'm not sure about the whole story, but
which
I guess
could be the fairy story, because it's pretty common on eBay to have people strip something in the hopes of getting more money.
That's true too. Yep.
Than for the device itself.
And then also too, because a couple other power related things here. And this might be I'm not sure if this is the multi-pack one or if this was
that's a big multi-pack.
Was this a multi-pack one? So this might have been what went into the multi-pack that I was showing you guys the other day. So
is the glass still contain a line going across without Funky looking thing in there.
It does appear to be incapacitated as well. What happened?
Right. So anyway, so I had some various parts that he sent along when I picked up the case from him, so that was kind of nice. So yeah. And then another project that I'm not quite ready to do a whole lot with, but I guess I just wanted to kind of share with you guys here. Let me move some stuff out of the way here. Whoops, what's dropping here? There we go. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if I can't slide this in here. So I picked this up here a while back here, and I've been speaking to Alan about it. He's been very informative and sharing a lot with me. But I got one of these animals.
Oh, FPGA.
No battery. It's not complete, is it?
This one? Yep.
Yeah.
This is all complete. Let me zoom in just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the CoCo 3 FPGA with the analog board for joystick ports, Wi-Fi, real-time clock, stuff like that.
Nice.
I thought it was just that board, but there's a board under it.
It is. Yeah. There's two boards.
Yeah, the generic DE1 Altera.
Yep. So you have the Altera board, and then this board that's on top right here. This is the analog board, and Ed Snyder was producing them at one time. And this board here fits on top of the DE1 board. And as Alan was describing, you have a real-time clock. It has a Wi-Fi connection, and then also you got your left-right joystick.
And VGA.
CoCo 3 FPGA. Those are nice.
Yeah, Alan's been giving me some information, some links and places that I can go read up and start to kind of educate myself a little bit with it.
I'd be happy to help you out too.
Okay.
You have all those switches down below there.
Yeah, they do various things there to make it all work there. Let me do this here. So when you press it on there, it's kind of hard to see here because it's just so bright with the camera. But it says CoCo right here is what it spells out on the LED right there. So and let me do this real quick here, and you guys can see how clear it is.
So we're not. There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
So the switches do things like it does have an MPI inside of it. Changes you can change the CPU speed. There's a graphical control. I think it has scan doubler, so you can turn the scan doubler off if you want to see the scan lines. And then there's a couple of controls for the drive wire port as well. That's what those switches do.
Yeah, Alan was playing with that a little bit here, and
just explaining for the panel.
Yep. Alan was playing around with it, and he was doing some of the drive wire stuff with it, and so that's going to be my next step is to get that going.
Well, you know who to call for Pi drive wire, right?
Yeah, there's somebody out in the community that was doing that project.
I wonder who that guy is.
Mikey something, yeah.
Yeah, Mikey something. So yeah,
this emulates the gimme.
Didn't he write a terminal or something?
He might. Yeah, he may. Did he write terminal? So
yeah, what's that guy? Yeah.
Hey, I wrote SDC Commander. Try it.
There
okay,
you go.
Sorry, Brian.
No. That's
have
all
to show
good.
my own products.
Right,
but
so
no, it puts out a very nice output there, and so yeah, I look forward to playing with this more.
So does it have an SD slot?
It does.
But it's not a CoCo SDC. It uses a different driver, but you get the same idea. It's that little silver box. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It's a non-ejecting SD card slot. Just a simple one. You just slide it in and slide it out. It doesn't have the clicky on it, so a little bit older style.
So we have a question in the chat. The plug-in board on the FPGA. Does that plug into an existing socket on the board, or does that require extra cross connects?
You can see there's 2 rows of like 60 pins off on the side.
Pin headers on the right.
Yeah, right there. Those actually connect to connectors that are built into the Altera DE1 board. It was designed to be expandable, heavily expandable right up front. Oh, that's all the GPIO access.
Yeah, because this is an FPGA development board, and they sold them for education. So think like a computer engineering class 101. Learn about FPGA programming. So they would use these boards in typically in universities. So they have
is development and education, literally.
Correct. So those pins connect to pins on directly connect to pins on the FPGA chip itself. And the original idea behind the DE1 is that you write your FPGA program to configure what connects to them. In our case, it has the bus, the bus connections that connect to this external board that Brian is showing us here. It would be nobody has ever done this. It's an interesting idea, but it would be possible to rewire that and make an adapter board. You could reconfigure this, and you would have to do all the programming and all the hardware. But it would be possible to make like a cartridge slot that connects in there instead. So you would just have a ribbon cable. It needs to have level shifters, but that's about all that you need. And then you could probably plug it into an MPI. But again, CoCo 3 FPGA does not do that today. But that's something that would be possible to do with this board if you reprogrammed it and created all the hardware.
Are you talking about building an that would plug into here?
Yes.
Okay.
An interface instead of this board. Reconfigure those connectors so that they have all of the bus signals are available inside of the FPGA. All of the address lines, all the data lines, the read-write line, the interrupt lines, all that stuff. Everything is available inside the FPGA. It would just be a matter of reconfiguring the wiring that's probably something I could actually do. I could actually figure out how to do that myself. But the hardware part is not really my forte. So you would need an adapter board to go from 3.3 volts to 5 volts. And then some of the signals are, data buses, bidirectional, address buses, et cetera, et cetera. Just a thought.
Mm-hmm. So it's a CoCo 3 with an MPI with stuff already in the MPI slots. So it includes an Orchestra 90 that comes out of a fairly nice audio chip that's on the main Altera board. You can load the ROM into the flash RAM and actually have the Orchestra 90 ROM stuff come up if you choose the switch combination that says you wanted to use the MPI slot 1. It has the floppy controller. It has a really nice drive wire over serial. So it's a whole CoCo setup in the one board. That goes 25
and it runs at 12 or 25 megahertz.
Play some of those games at 25 megahertz. That'd be fun.
You won't be playing 25.
Not long.
Frame locked.
The fun part is the audio becomes a squeal.
I guess the one thing I'm just starting to do some reading though, but was anybody familiar with what the black here on the top, that 16 pin was for?
Yeah, that's a GPIO.
Okay.
And it buried in the instructions somewhere. It says what address that GPIO is at.
Okay.
I don't remember off the top. I know it's in the instructions somewhere.
Yeah, it's down in the PDF.
Okay, yeah, I just haven't read through the whole thing yet. Yes, sir.
If you're going to play with that, it's 3.3 volts, not 5.
Right.
Those go directly into the FPGA. Just the warning.
Okay, thank you.
So are those things still available anywhere?
Yes, you can pick these up on eBay.
Yeah, they're going for $100 to $300 depending.
The DE1 boards, because there were so many of them sold to schools. When they get rid of them, they usually go on, they go on eBay. So I've gotten a couple of them.
Now,
With
this one
a
here,
lot of bacon they are.
The expansion board it's only been available twice
but out on the
from Zipster.
right, but out on the correct me if I'm wrong here, Alan. The group IO, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Groups.io, yeah.
Yeah, group.io. The information needed to make one of these boards is out there.
That's correct. But it's only been available for purchase from Ed Snyder 2 separate times ever.
And it's usable without this. And without this, I mean, you can still.
Yes.
Because Alan, that's how you're operating yours. This just gives you, like, if you wanted to use real hardware, real joysticks on it, and things like that.
Correct.
And maybe someday we'll get the Wi-Fi module working. I was working on that, but never finished it.
But if you do pick one of these up, this one here happened to be already ready to go for CoCo. But if not, you'd have to flash it. Is that the right word?
All the stuff needed to plug into it is available in the PDF and on the archive and on the Groups IO part for the FPGA part specifically. Yep. So, and there's 2 ways to do it. You plug a USB port in right next to the power port and use a piece of software that comes from the Altera group. There's either a command line programmer or they've got a big bench desktop GUI thing that you can run. But basically, you can send over a file that will only be used during the current boot. And then when you power off and power on, it resets to whatever's been stored. Or you can put the file over into the flash to be what gets used at every boot. So you can do test runs very easy by just sending over a test version of things and then let it revert when you power off. Or you can flash it over via the USB. So what happens is the FPGA chip basically resets to default when the power goes off, kind of like a RAM. And then when the Altera board boots, it's got what they have, like EPCS, I think is the initials for it. They have this controller that goes through and very quickly dumps whatever it's got in its little flash RAM memory back into the FPGA. And that's what sets it up as a CoCo 3 with the MPI or whatever else you manage to program it with. But that flash chip also has the places where you load the ROM images for things like the 32K CoCo 3 ROM itself, the Orchestra 90 ROM, and they go in specific memory locations. And there's a little control panel where you pick what those are. And he's looking to get rid of it, but there's also a multi-ROM programming thing. The MPI slot 3 is like it has a flash card in that as well that you can put lots of CoCo ROMs on. But I think he's going to discontinue that in the next version and use that space for more accurate CoCo 3 emulation. But it's really accurate with the core that's there. It runs all the stuff that I've tried to run. There are a couple of things that don't run right out of the box, but all in all, it's a pretty solid CoCo 3 everything in a really nice package. And for Nitrous 9, the 6309 version will not run. It simulates the 6809.
6809 only, yeah.
But if you put the 6809 version of Nitrous 9 on there and crank that switch to 25 megahertz, believe me, it runs really, really nice. So it's a cool kit.
You can also load a different ROM on it, and you can actually boot Nitrous 9 off of the SD card. You want fast? That thing is screaming fast. That's actually
what mine does.
A very, very nice software development system for OS 9. And you put the SD card in it. It's so fast. And then you have DriveWire. You can also get files. Use DriveWire to get files in and off, on and off of it. It's really, really nice development system. That's what I tend to use mine for. Is if I want to develop on somewhat real hardware.
What were you saying there, Alan, about breadboard?
Brett Gordon wrote a SD boot for this. That it's also usable as a general SD card type booter for other stuff too. But when you put the SD boot into this, it can load the whole nitrous 9 right off the SD card, and it does go super, super fast. So that's a pretty cool setup as well. But if you flip the switches a couple of different ways, you boot it up, it's a CoCo 3 with disk basic. You boot it up another way, and you can have HDB DOS come up, or that you can boot it into to nitrous 9 directly. So yeah, it's a pretty flexible system. They've worked out a lot of really cool stuff for it.
So what's the battery do?
That's for the real-time clock.
Oh, that's it? No need for any other settings or anything to be stored?
Nope. And you can access that real-time clock from nitrous 9.
So yeah, so it was kind of, I just happened to stumble on this on eBay. It was all packaged already together, and it didn't have the power adapter, so I had to pick up that. It's a 7.5 volts DC, so I picked up a power adapter, and when I plugged it in, it was already ready to go. So this was obviously like came from a previous CoCo owner who was using it, or not sure why it was out there available, but I just happened to see it, and the price was right for it. So I was kind of happy to add that to my group of toys, CoCo toys to play with. So, and this little adapter that I have here does a really nice job. If anybody's kind of curious, if you have any VGA, this little guy here does a really nice job of taking the VGA and giving me a HDMI output. That's what you saw. So that was nice. But if anybody else has any questions or anything else you want to see on it, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to continue to play with it more.
Are those chips proprietary and not able to be gotten anymore? The Altera or whatever it is.
Well, the Altera is a separate board. This was, as Mikey was talking about and Alan were talking about, these were built for educational purposes, and then they went and created the software needed to make it emulate the CoCo 3 on here.
Yeah, Gary Becker.
That was Gary Becker. What Becker did, and then I don't know,
I think we're analog board, and then Ed cleaned it up and made it a kind of a bulletproof kind of guy.
Okay,
right, but I think what Ron's getting at is the Altera DE1 board is to sell Altera logic chips, which is what is used in the CoCo 3 FPGA. However, because disturbing people like GM and Ford and those little punks want all the Altera chips, we don't have any, and that's caused a lot of production delays. So is the FPGA going to be available soon for its specific chip?
Not this one, because this is a very older generation of them. This is the Cyclone 2, and they haven't, Intel hasn't produced those in years.
Not coming.
Yeah, they're up to like Cyclone 5, I think is the last ones I've seen.
Right.
So
yeah, I think even Cyclone 4 has been discontinued.
So this is an orphan.
It is now. Yes, it had its time and it's moved on. And good retro folks that we are have, of course, found a fairly appropriate long-term retirement use for these. And this is like a cousin to what would be known as the Mister, which is the I think a DE10 Nano or something like that. And there is a variation of the build for the Altera DE2 and the DE2-115. So there's a couple of different options. If you get into the Groups IO group for the CoCo 3 FPGA, the DE1 is not the only board that this setup works with. It was just the default or the main one. And then there's another FPGA CoCo system called Mr. CoCo that you can build that uses Roger Taylor's core.
Right. I was going to mention him.
So this was originally based on the John Kent core from Australia, and is being updated with a more cycle accurate core in the next version, which is available for testing.
So what year is this, do you think?
Well, these are like 2012, somewhere in there,
Yeah,
2012 to
about a decade ago.
2014.
2011.
Now, did they ever make they made a case? I know that that's in a plastic thing, but did they ever make a case that looks CoCo-ish with a keyboard or anything like they do with
but
the CoCo?
I wouldn't personally. I kind of like it just with all, because you need to access the switches and the buttons all do things. Mine boots up with the Three Musketeers by default, and you can hit the reset and go back to the Three Musketeers anytime you want, things like that. So you do have to access all the stuff, and putting it into a more closed case would actually make it a little less convenient.
So this uses CoCo joysticks,
for example. Huh?
This uses CoCo joysticks.
Yep. If you have the analog board on the top there, then yes, you can plug in CoCo joysticks, and all 6 pins work.
It's pretty cool.
And the audio out works just fine, so you can hear all your CoCo music and stuff there. Like I said, it emulates the Orchestra 90, and so you can play all the Orc 90 stuff in stereo out of it. So it's a really well thought out package.
Cool.
After getting one and playing with it for a little bit, I was really kind of surprised that they weren't more widely out there. It seems like they're not fairly widely out there. And I can't quite comprehend why that would be, other than maybe price or just because it's FPGA and it's kind of weird. I'm having to learn the FPGA stuff. Brian's going to be learning it as well, because you got to go through the how to program it and how to get the ROMs in the right flash place and stuff like that. If you really want to, be able to upgrade it and things, you need those to develop those skills at least once. But this has been my excuse to actually start getting into the FPGA bits that I've been kind of curious about for many years.
So that little header next to the CoCo logo there is where you would program port right there, or do you go through the?
It's you plug in a USB cord and program it from to program what emulation and ROMs and stuff to use. You plug it through a USB and program it from a PC.
Oh.
The switches next to where it's got the word CoCo lit up, all those switches are options. And that's where you pick your MPI slot and what speed you want the CPU to go and things like that.
Okay.
Because right here, Ron, this connector right here, this is a PS2 connector, and so this uses a PS2 keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
For so when you're actually using it and typing it, you're using a PS2 keyboard.
Okay.
That maps things back and forth the way you would hope. So the quote is the quote.
Yeah,
rather
shift 2.
Yeah. I mean, you just use the PC quote and get a quote rather than shift 2, whatever else is there. Yeah.
I tell you what, though, if you wanted to stay away from an emulator and you wanted to use something about as close to real hardware, this comes pretty close. And you compare the price of these boards to what CoCo 3s are going for on eBay these days. It's kind of an affordable option too.
Yeah, but that's like 175, isn't it?
On eBay, they're starting out at about 150 on the low end, and
actually 100. I just looked
go.
up today. In fact, there's one up for $75 right now, plus $20 shipping.
But it's complete. You don't have to buy the extra.
Well,
just the E1.
This is going to be just this board that's on the bottom. This board that you see on top right here, that was a separate add-on board that was developed afterwards specifically for the
turn
CoCo.
it sideways because it doesn't even look like it's a board. Oh, okay. So you're not going to get that top board, huh?
No, you're going to get just you're going to get just this board right here. What's plugged in on top right here was the add-on board that Ed Snyder was making or manufacturing.
So Ed Snyder didn't make the bottom board either.
No,
that was something that was built specifically for educational purposes, for people to learn about FPGAs.
Oh,
and
so
things
that's
like that.
the CoCo Pi. The Pi part is the.
You could think of it that way, in a sense.
Yeah, very equivalent.
Okay.
All right. Got anything else, Brian?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay. Let's see. Rick, do you have anything?
Yeah, I thought I'd toss this up here. Let me find the right page.
I don't like this new pointer that Zoom has come up with now. God, makes it hard to click on stuff.
So in any case, since I'm finally getting back to the stuff that I was doing before the CoCo Fest and the inevitable summer rush to make enough money to live on. And so this week I've been soldering unicorns, and I think I've completed 2 of them. Here are CoCo IOs with the serial port installed. And so I'm going to be getting them to some people that want to deal with them. Yeah, look, 2 connectors, not just 1. That's why it wasn't called CoCo Net or something like that.
Shut up and take my money.
And I want to show you my masterful soldering. There's no way you can tell this wasn't placed by a laser accurate machine, right? She's just as close as she can be all the way around. And
it tests good, right?
It tests good. You'll notice they don't actually short. They're just kind of a little bit off. But yeah, thanks to my nifty new microscope.
So are you basically proud of this? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it works. I'm proud of finally getting one to work, because these chips were supposed to all be placed by the PCB manufacturer. It's not my job to be putting this little teeny tiny chip with 48 pins on these little tiny squares.
That almost looks like mine.
Right.
So Rick, I know you've been working on these boards for a while. Is there any magic to making any of it work? Does the serial just work as you would expect a serial port to work? But isn't there software that has to be created to get the network card to work? If you're gonna,
it's actually the other way around.
Okay.
You need a pretty sophisticated OS 9 driver to make the 550 port work. This is related to the 550 port that's in Ed Snyder's MPI. So I think Deke is working on a driver. In fact, I'm trying to get him one of these cards with my chip in, so I can, kind of get in on that gravy train there. So his driver will work on my hardware as well. Where the serial port, I wrote the www web browser that I did is just poking single bytes from BASIC into the chip, and it runs well enough to get web pages. It's, obviously it'd be much nicer if you wrote a machine language gung-ho driver. But in any case, we got that gone, and the ORC 180 I'm picking up again. I've got a couple of technical problems solved, so I don't have any pretty pictures of things, but a lot of stuff is moving again. So I just wanted to say, hey, look, I'm building stuff.
That's awesome.
Are you running out of spectaculator cases?
Oh, right. No, I'm 3D printing my own.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even mention with that anymore, because
Yeah, I'm late to the party. I saw serial parts.
Yeah, see.
Yay!
All the stuff. So we'll see. I've only got a dozen of the 16550s, and that might only result in a half a dozen working ports because of my masterful soldering skills.
So if we were to buy one from you, we'd have to wait before it actually would be able to work.
Well, no, everything. Well, the network port works now, and that's the only version that I'm selling. The serial port was supposed to be the thing that sold the card. So when I first introduced it, I'd have the old 16550 serial driver for OS 9, and that would be the thing that people bought the card for until we got the network card going. Well, that didn't work, obviously, because COVID came along and blew up the 550s forever. But life is as it is.
Rick, this is Mikey. Are you you have the new gals?
Yes, it seems to work on mine. So one of the things that I want to get this to Deke is to see if it works on his, because his CoCo doesn't like.
Would you like? I have a chip puller. Would you like to send me some gals to try out? I would like to get back to working on the card.
Oh yeah, if you still have one, I will certainly send you one of the 70 nanosecond.
I have. You sent. I bought one, and you sent me a couple more cards. So I just need the gal. Is that right? Are there any other board changes?
Yes. No, that's it. So let me send you one.
Okay, I'll send you a note offline.
Let's see if it helps.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, hopefully this thing's moving again. And
so one day you're going to have a demo of this thing, right? And you're going to show us how you surf the internet with it or something.
Well, you can do that now. I've even got some videos up somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't have a YouTube channel yet, so they're on the Discord to get to them.
Well, post them up.
I'll post them up somewhere. Yeah, I've actually got the account. I just haven't done anything with it yet. So yeah, let me get off my butt and do that. Oh, and one other comment. Here's the good side of the slow clock that our CoCo has. This yellow wire is the Q clock. The white wire is DO. There is no way you're going to run a clock and a data wire this far off of a PC and do anything with it. On a CoCo.
That's a clock line?
Yeah.
What? I think that's an antenna, not a clock line.
Well, it's an antenna as well, but it will still operate.
It's a
as
delay
the
line.
clock at the end
It's a
of the
delay
line.
line.
Well, not that much. Only 2 megahertz. So we got 150 nanoseconds to drift.
Yeah, but you'd be able to pick that up on a radio across the street.
It's fine. They won't know what it is. They don't understand ASCII there. So anyway.
All right. News?
Why, yes.
We have news.
We
Okay.
have a little news.
Okay.
They are going to close the VCF consignments at 2:30. So if we want to see that, I don't want to interrupt, but.
Not a
And
whole
what-
lot of news. There's like 5 Gamon and 7 of the regular and no MC10 or Dragon. So pretty
All
short.
right. I'm pretty much ready to go portable, so.
Give us a half hour. We should be done with this.
All right. Sounds good.
When you want the latest in TRS-80, Tandy, Dragon, MC10, and all of their hardware cousins, no matter what it takes, or where news breaks, from around the world to your nation. The CoCo Nation News with L. Curtis Boyle. Today's special guest presenter, Mark Overholzer.
And ready for you, Mark.
Sure. Let me share my screen here and make sure I got the audio. Let's see. Share sound. No optimals for video because that doesn't work well. Where is my window? I got too many windows open. That's my problem. Okay, I think it's this one here I have set up. Okay, I should see a DuckDuckGo search page, I'm hoping.
Yep.
Okay, click on first tab, and this is our first story, I believe. We have TRS-80 retro programming. That look okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So, Game On News here. So, TRS-80 retro programming has a little bit longer walkthrough of his kitchen scene in his game called Tales of Suburbia. And it's extended basic game, and we've been following his channel for a couple of years now. I guess I'll play a few seconds of it, but of course we want you to go to his page and take a look at his videos, and of course subscribe and like, because that's how we get our kudos here. So I'll play the first few seconds.
Hi, welcome
How's
back.
the audio?
It's been a while since I made a video. The other previous videos that I did was, no commentary, and I was starting to go over the kitchen.
I'm gonna skip forward a bit.
And we're in the living room, and everybody's already seen this. So now we're able to go through this door here, and we get into the kitchen, which is fully done now. I'm gonna fully disable X-Roar's sound capabilities.
So this is what, like P mode 4, I think. There are 4 colors and resolution.
P mode 3.
Okay. P mode 3. Okay. Not
Am
good
I
at
the
all
only
identifying.
one that thinks this looks like the bunker next to a missile?
Yeah, it is.
It does, doesn't it?
But I smell chicken.
Well, anyway,
Before lunch.
don't want to spend a lot of time, but I think he's been doing a really good job. I've been paying attention to his series. I like a lot of his more technical stuff, but the series stuff is interesting too, and working on his game. So anyway, any questions or comments? Moving along. No comments? That's fine by me. Okay. Coming up next, Inafuto has a new game out called Hopman. And of course, this is multi-platform, targeting a lot of different systems, including MSX and PC 8001. And scroll down here, see if we can find the Dragon or color computer version. Looks like he's got an awful lot of them all ready to go. There's ZX Spectrum, FM7. Oh, there we go. TRS-80 color computer. Looks like, there's a CoCo 3 version also. Well, let's take a look at this one first. Little short video I see, only a minute, a little bit. Funny to think that this type of game is being targeted to multiple systems, but this would have been a decent game back in 1985 for people to buy. The action and let's try the Color Computers 3 version. Definitely a little bit about colors. Anyway, comments?
Glad to see he's still going further with those. That engine just keeps going.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. I'm sure he's got the same base code for everything. It's all targeted to different systems. Like, very impressive. Okay, moving along. Expertech, which I haven't heard of before, has released another Spanish CoCo game playing video on Amber Monitor. This one's time it's Moon Shuttle. So, Spanish auto generated. Okay.
Veamos qué otra sorpresa tiene ahora este disquete.
Guess I should select English for those here.
Carro lunar, si no me equivoco.
Maybe.
Veamos.
One moment here, let's see if I can find English. I'll translate. There we go. Like I do this very often. That's not what I wanted.
They still make it.
Okay, I guess I don't know how to turn on these.
We get Spanish to Arabic. That's what we get.
Okay. Well, anyway. Let's see what the game looks like. Sounds like it has a real floppy disk.
Ahí está. Una presentación espectacular.
Oh,
Vamos a bajar un
data
poquito el
soft.
volumen. Que se siga más rápido.
was actually nice looking graphics.
Los aceleradores pasaban, también se comenzaban a mover y pasaban mucho más rápido. Entonces acá
I'm fairly new to the CoCos. Anybody else remember this game from way back when?
We did it on Game On Challenge.
Did we? All right. Too many of them to remember. Hey, look, Mikey's Vlog 17 at VCF West. Okay, we'll get to that later, probably next week. Well, I'm going to move on here. Our very own Ken of Canadian Retro Things has a gameplay video, it looks like. He is comparing basically Protectors 2. It's the CoCo 1.2 version versus the C64, whatever that is.
Hey there, I'm Ken. This is Canadian Retro Things. Welcome. Today, I'm looking at one game on 2 computers. The game I'll be looking at is Protector 2. This game was originally released by Synapse Software for the Atari 8-bit family in 1982. We're going to look at 2 ports of this game released in 1983. We'll look at the C64 version programmed by Ken Rose and the CoCo version programmed by Robert Black. First, we have to look at the instruction book. The instruction book that I have here is actually for the Atari 400 or 800 version. However, the game is the same across all versions, so the instruction book should be pretty much the same other than different loading instructions and stuff like that. Just the differences between the computers.
And everything.
And of course, this instruction book does not disappoint when it comes to a backstory for this game. In this one, it reads, "You are the last hope. The alien slime lords of Fraculus are attacking your cities. One by one, the inhabitants are being exterminated by the invincible Fraxilin mother ship. It moves relentlessly, drawing up the helpless natives and..."
What script is he reading from? Anyway, do we want to see do a side-by-side here at all? It looks like it goes back and forth between the 2 versions. Well, anyway, we'll skip ahead.
To pick up each of the people that are on the ground and buildings and transport them to the next city during an alien invasion. This is very much in the style of Defender. You even have an enemy ship that picks up your people, although rather than turning them into alien ships, it drops them in a volcano. Now we'll switch over to the C64 version. Once all of the people have been evacuated from the first city, or killed, you must move them again. This time you have to take them to an underground bunker. If you have not moved all the people from the first city, the bunker will have a force field over it, making it inaccessible. All the while you have to avoid enemy ships, missiles fired from the surface, and even an erupting volcano.
Well, good old Ken. It was nice side by side. Ken, please subscribe to his channel. He's got, he's got 1.12K subscribers now. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like. Comments, anyone? Well, moving on then. You're all very quiet, by the way. And Jim Gary, of course, has his, I think, required in his contract of having a new game every week, at least one. This appears to be some porting to the CoCo. Fox and Geese, originally from Marshall Cavendish's Input Magazine, 1984. Anyway, some simple AI techniques using a high-res generator. Playboard looks a lot like checkers or chess. And let's take a look at this and see what we get. Yep, that'd be basic. So it's called Fox and Geese. I think it's like a checker chess game. Well, style, but not the same.
You want the human to play the fox. Oh, I see. You can do the I guess 2-player.
Yeah, it must be.
Nice.
Interesting. It's a turn-taking game, obviously, on a checkerboard, but I think the geese are being stalked. Skipping ahead here. I think the geese are going to lose, though, no matter what.
Oh, jeez.
I guess you have to get your geese across the other side before the fox gets down. Anyway, this is available on his, oops, I don't want that. Oh, come on, you. Sorry, I got the controls here popping up for Zoom, which I don't want. So I'm trying to click on another tab here, but I'm having the darndest time. How do you get rid of the control menu here? I'm trying to make this thing go away.
I don't think we see the control menu.
Well, the thing is, it's taking control and I can't click on the web browser anymore. So I got to go away. Okay, so anyway, source code is available here on his web page at his day job, which he teaches at his institution. Okay, and let's see, that's all on the Game On news. 5 stories today. Okay, so general news. So we're still have on the schedule for August 12th, which is in a couple weeks, I believe. No, I guess it's next week. Matt Harper, the developer of Wizard's Den, which was sold by Tom Mix, is supposed to be our guest, and haven't seen a cancellation, so plan on him being here. And then coming up on our interview with Doug Maston has been pushed back, unfortunately, but we will have him on along with Glenn Dahlgren at some point here in the future. And on September 9th, about a month out, we're going to have Mark P. and Charlie from Porta CoCo. You saw them at CoCo Fest. You will have seen their portable and wireless video CoCo 3. We'll have them on talking about their stuff. Anyway, moving on. In regular CoCo news, Tandycom on YouTube has released a video showing him running a 1983 BBS program on the JavaScript Mocha online CoCo 2 emulator. And we have a video for that. See what we get here.
Hi.
Hello. We're about halfway through the news, maybe a little less.
Flex is an operating system that came out of the late 1970s for Motorola 6800 machines. And
skip ahead here a little bit. Bringing back the memories of days ago before the internet was everywhere. Anyway, it looks like Candycom could use a few subscribers and some likes as well. Anyway,
pretty cool that it's Mocha as well.
Yeah, it actually seems to be pretty responsive.
It's actually a really good emulator that's been around for a long time. Just you don't hear about it often.
Been overshadowed by other stuff, I guess. Anyway, I don't have a link for Mocha, but we should probably find one, post at some point. Comments, anyone?
Yeah, I've got the link to Mocha. I'll put it up in the Discord.
Thank you much. You might post it on the live stream too. Anyway, moving on to the next video. Looks like TRS-80 Retro Programming has another video on color animation for the CoCo 1 and 2. Got 2 videos, it looks like. So let's hit this one, see what we get here. It's less than a minute. Kind of cool, cycling the colors. He also has another video on the get put buffers. Fast get put test.
Hi, welcome back.
It's a longer video.
Today I want to run a test because
let's skip forward to 46 minutes. So.
The shape need 36 bits of information here, and it fits in a small dimension, 6.6. 6.6 covers this entire, you can squeeze all of this into 6.6. All right, and I suppose I'm not doing this right, but now it's working. So guys,
well, unless it takes some time to unpack, so, but okay, so I'm not going to go any more of that, but if you're interested in fast get put buffers, this is probably a good thing. I should probably review it myself for basic programming, so I'll just leave that there. And again, he's got a bunch of subscribers, but he could use a few more. So if you can, please subscribe. Comments, anyone?
Just assume we're all taking a nap.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. CoCo Town, our friend CoCo Town. He's got a new video up. This is on RAM vectors. This is with his T1 VDG. So this is almost 20 minutes, but we'll play a little bit here at the beginning.
Hello and welcome. On this video, I talked about this poke, which I learned about from this blog, link in the description, which has the magical effect of sticking. I call it the sticky poke because after you use it, you can then poke the VDG to whatever display mode you want and it will stick there. It won't snap back every time you go back to the text screen or you start typing or anything. So in that video, I said, I need to make a video to talk about how this works. And in an upcoming video, I will talk about how that works. This is that video where I talk about how it works. Let's find out.
Jumping ahead.
And I went and I changed it directly so it would always ensure that the start address is what I wanted rather than what it wanted. And then more recently, when I was checking to see whether my CoCo 2 has the T1 chip for the video display generator, I used a much simpler poke that would prevent the snapback, and it would let me directly do whatever I wanted to the VDG by poking into the VDG addresses and ensure it would never snap back. So this video is about that poke that ensures that we won't snap back. How did that poke work? And was that poke related to the stuff that I did a while back when I ensured that the start address?
I'll tell you, this is all new info for me, because what I've heard about the T1 is that you can poke it so you get the lowercase, but then the moment you do any output again, it resets. But it's nice to hear that you can actually lock it down so that it stays. That means it'd be very practical to implement lowercase on the T1 CoCo 2s in your own applications.
All right.
Any comments otherwise?
No.
Okay, moving right along. Yet another retro channel, Yark, has a video. This is a new one we just started covering. It's only got 513 subscribers so far. But anyway, this is using something called a TZX Duino, which I assume is a microcontroller board of some sort. So,
hello, and welcome to a special bonus content episode of Yet Another Retro Channel.
Oh man, the movie right up front.
Good taste in villains, eh?
Todd Horse.
The reason you see the CoCo 3 on the desk today is that I got to reading the documentation for the Max Duino software.
And there'd be something else on his desk?
Installed on the TZX Duino I recently built, and I noticed in the list of supported file formats, not only does it support file formats that work for a lot of British micros, the MSX, but it also includes the Dragon and the CoCo by Tandy, the color computer by Tandy. And of course, being that I love the color computer, I just had to take a look at that, see what it could do. So I hooked everything up. Now the Color Computer 3 has the Color Computer line, the 1, 2, and 3, have a proprietary DIN jack for the cassette input. And it just so happens that I do have one of the original cables. So I hooked that up and I set up the TZX Duino. And we start the computer here. It turns out in my testing that I've loaded a bunch of cassette files on this, and it turns out they're actually more reliable, it would seem, than loading software onto the Spectrum or the Amstrad CPC. Everything I've tried to load has loaded successfully. So I have queued up Super Pitfall, which was a Tandy release for the CoCo 3 only. And I will go ahead and load that. Now, one thing the files don't usually tell you is whether you have a basic program to load or a machine language program. Some of these files will have a basic program that's a loader, and then that'll continue to load the rest of the game once you've run that. I don't remember if Super Pitfall is one of those or not. But this will use the motor control, so
it's kind of cool looking. It's like a digital replacement for like a cassette player, and it uses, looks like what, Arduino Nano for the brain. And it's got a little display. That'd be kind of slick, actually.
Motor control is on. I have it set to 3850 baud, but it doesn't seem to matter which baud rate I set. It still takes the same amount of time to load. So I'm assuming there's something in the file that's forcing it to the 1500 baud that the CoCo uses. So I'll go ahead and hit play, and you'll see it'll go into paused mode, which it has done. And then when I actually start loading the program, it will play. Now, I'm going to try the basic version first. On the CoCo, you have two load commands. CLOAD will load a basic program. CLOAD-M will load a machine language program. So we're going to just use Clode, and hopefully this has a basic loader. I think it does.
Pipe mismatcher.
I hit enter, and the TZX Duino starts playing. Recognizes Pitfall, and it is loading as a basic program, so it'll stop here, and then I will run the basic program As you see, the TZX Arduino has gone back into paused mode on its own. When I run the program, it'll go back to playing, and it will continue to load the game. I'm going to go ahead and zip through this for you because I think this takes about 4 minutes.
Yep. Okay, that sounds pretty interesting.
So he says it does motor on, motor off, so it would do those Dorset educational and all those other funky things that you can't normally do.
Yeah, if you had the wave is,
Okay, and
because it has
nearly
a
4
whole wave
minutes
image.
later, as I thought, we have the game Super Pitfall. It's asking me if I have an RGB monitor, and since I am using the RGB to HDMI, we'll say yes. And here is Super Pitfall. Now,
Okay. Comments. I think it looks pretty cool. That'd be cool to get one.
I predict Mr. Dave will not be buying one of these.
Nor anybody else that has a hatred for cassettes. But still, they're handy to have. I mean, chances are it works fine with little ZX81, so it'd be a cool thing to have. So
I think it's fun. We got a confirmation our tape interface is better than the Acorn and the ZX because it's more reliable on this thing.
yeah, that's definitely a positive. So okay, moving along. We got 3 more stories left. Oh Brother, YouTube released a video that they did on Twitch using a real CoCo 2 with cassette. And I haven't heard of this channel. This should be somebody else we should subscribe to. Might as well do that right now since I'm here. Let's hear what he has to say. I should probably turn the volume down a little bit.
Make me smaller. Like that. That is kind of what I was looking for.
The most intense jail doors I've ever seen.
That's what I usually see.
For every dot, I see every character, but not every dot.
That's the computer. It's old, and it runs programs that you save on cassette tapes onto a cassette drive that plugs into the computer, and we'll see what that sounds like. It sounds as bad as you expect it to sound. Yeah. That's what data sounds like. Doesn't it sound
Sound
like
of data.
All right. Audio on, C load.
The header on it. Okay. Run through the beginning of the tape.
Searching. The tape drive is still searching.
That.
Yeah, this one was big. And if I remember correctly, I can do like list 0 to 50.
So this is supposed to be a physics simulation.
I'm very glad I did, as you can see here, add comments at the beginning that tells me what the program does. So let's run it. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, it's a bad boy.
Load cassette file.
Hey, what we bought computers for, to do math instead of having to know all that stuff.
Okay.
Oh, maybe that was just me.
First node, passive or driven, where I'm not going into too much detail here because it's driven and just roll with it. I've got one node, make another node. Yes, 100 seconds. So that's 1,000 iterations. And so so here we go. Welcome to the color part of the color computer. This is, yeah, it is actually. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm trying to work on data. Yeah. So it'll run line 10 first, and it says save to the data register the number 10, number 101, number 1001. Okay. Now I have another command after it that says save to the data register 20.
Huh.
Oh well.
This guy's trying to reinvent Havoc physics engine on a CoCo. Nice.
Yeah, obviously it's been around for a while too. It's somebody wrote this years ago, probably as maybe a project, graduate student, or just trying to solve some equations for class. And as you can see, Oh Brother is actually a pretty young gentleman, so this might all be new to him. Any other comments? Nope. All asleep still? Excellent.
Yep.
Bill Sexton has posted a photo of his Color Computer 3 analog RGB output to a Atari ST RGB monitor. And this is, of course, Facebook, for those of you that are not familiar with the format.
Yeah, look at that
Anyway,
demo.
actually looks pretty nice. And somebody asked how did he mod it, and so we got the pinouts for both made of cable. Oh, nice. That's Color Computer 3, of course. So obviously the Atari monitor handles the digital RGB just fine.
RGBA is RGBA. Who knew?
Oh, yes, it's analog. Yep. Yep.
A glimpse of somebody starting to yell about modding a monitor nastily and blah blah. And he's like, making a cable is not modding. That's awesome.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people forget how similar and compatible technology is back in the day. You know, it's like,
oh, okay. He was just asking, how did you mod it? Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was Facebook. I was kind of worried that somebody might be like, "You're having fun. Stop it."
Right.
That's Facebook. You're not supposed to have fun. You're supposed to buy things. Okay, and our last story. There's no MC10 or Dragon news this week. The CoCo crew has released a interview with Cullen Stearman, which the name is familiar, but I don't know what he did exactly. Oh, a Rainbow series called Cooking with CoCo. Technical upgrades, just basic and other stuff. Anyway, I guess Boise is the lead on this, and they just brought this out. Looks like it's about a half hour. And anyway, this would be worth hearing, I'm sure. So anyway, and that's all the news we have this week. And
oh,
nice
good.
and
So
short.
as promised, CoCo crew can continue on in May as they feel. Awesome.
Excellent. Always need more
Right.
content.
I hope they keep pulling stuff out of the archives for us. That would be nice.
Yep. So back to you, Mark B in the studio.
Okay.
Let me hit the stop share button. There we go.
All right. So next up, Mikey and Shaky Cam.
Hello, hello. I'm here. I'm looking at stuff.
Okay.
So this room here is actually a private consignment. This is not the VCF consignment. The guy in the coat over there. This is his stuff. This whole room is his stuff, including his wonderful hard drives, 8-inch floppies. Have some printers. There's a lonely looking there's an Atari 400, some modems. I used to have a T-shirt. I remember modems. Yeah, here's an Atari 400 with a thingy glued to it, so it actually has some. It's not really glued anymore. Oh, it's just an overlay. That's what I thought. So there's the membrane keyboard, and then they have the domes that go on top of it, so that you actually have buttons that you can push.
So they've improved it.
Still crappy, yeah.
Yeah, they've improved it to a chiclet. That's great.
Yeah, it's up to a CoCo 1 level now.
Hey, what drive was that at the end of the table there?
Okay, I didn't really check this out.
Oh,
$25.
a tandem.
$25.
That's the kind of drive you find in a 16.
It's an 8-inch floppy drive, and well, actually, there's a manual here. It says that it's MPI.
Okay, MPI. It looks pretty much like the same drive you'd get in a Tandy 16K or the Model 16.
Whoever said tandem wins.
It was a tandem.
Because I recognize that puppy. I've worked on a couple of them.
So the manual and the drive don't go together.
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Go back
As
to
Mark says, carriage return line feed.
go back to
Here's the line feed. Now time for the carriage return. All right. Monitors.
Terminal.
Zephyr. Yeah, it's a terminal. And then this says North Star Horizon. So
like
we have
S100
S100.
bus? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember North Star for about 15 minutes.
And 15 minutes. And then this table seems to be full of S100 cards. Probably like a RAM card, homebrew EEPROM programmer. I don't know, more EEPROM programmers. This is likely to be a floppy controller, probably, because it has this
Ribbon.
50
Yeah,
pin
but
ribbon
doesn't-
cable connector. So this is probably a floppy controller.
Well, it doesn't have any sort of FTC chip.
No.
I wonder if it's more of an I/O.
Well, the very early early floppy systems, the hard sectored ones, the way that they did stuff was the reason why it was hard sectored was so that every sector you get an index pulse, so that the hardware has an easier time of figuring out
Right.
where the sectors are on the disk. So
Just looking at those makes my fingers hurt from pulling all the freaking rams and screws and case biting and man,
yeah,
that's memories.
this one here is a little bit cheaper, but it's not that complete of a system.
It's maxed out at 640.
The XT is 150 and the monitor is 80, and keyboard is 25. This is a lower price model because you look at this one, the monochrome monitor, 125 and 150 for this one. So, but I would love to get my hands on one of these, but don't want to get yelled at.
Until the DRAM flips in your hand and pins the end of your finger for the millionth freaking time.
How many times have the skin on our knuckles grown back because of that? Yes, Ron.
Lucky Mikey, after she yells, it goes away.
Goes away.
You still
the
have
stuff
the
goes
computer.
away. You mean in the trash can?
No, the echo in your head.
The yell goes away, and you still have the computer.
I want an
Oh,
AT&T Unix
boy.
machine.
Adam 3.
Here's the free pile. Now I left some of my own company swag on the free pile, and it disappeared. So, because I didn't want it anymore. A couple of backpacks. You know, I don't want to throw the backpacks away. You know, so.
See that Dell that you just passed?
Yeah, it
Yes,
looks like
that thing has
no
that thing-
precision
I'm-
3400.
If I'm
However,
right, it has RAM bus memory in it, which is the most expensive crap you can ever buy.
it actually does have a system in it,
Yeah.
but there's no CPU. I
And
think
and there won't be any RAM bus memory in it either.
no memory is empty here. I just carted one of these away from not this exact model, but a very similar one from my office that was just sitting around.
My last company bought a bunch of them, and they spent so much money on RAM upgrades because the RAM it used was just impossible. They may have
Yeah,
made a different one, but the one
I
I had
actually don't know what kind of memory the one that I have has. I should actually look. This table had a $30 PC on it, and I just didn't get to it. Hey, what's this? Video capture? What does it go to? I think you need a card of some kind. Well, that's not that much use to me. Hard drive. Anybody want Byte magazine? Interface Age. Ooh. Exploring video graphics. From when? December 1979. Before the CoCo. Cambridge Soundworks. LGR would like that. Here's some server stuff. 3-column network switch. Lonely Apple stuff. Then we go, this room here is the VCF consignment room. There's a bunch of cool stuff in here. Bunch of test equipment. I got me some free test equipment. HP 3465 digital multimeter. That might be nice for somebody, but it doesn't have that many digits.
Why do they put the sticker on the screen?
What do you mean? This sticker?
Yeah, it
No,
goes
it's
right-
okay.
Yeah, you got to pull it off and at
It's
least
on the
glue.
bezel. It's not on the screen.
It's on the bezel. That's not a big deal, Ron. That's not going to break anything.
What's the machine on the side?
This one?
Mm-hmm. No, on the side. On its side on the floor.
Beta. No, VHS. It's a VHS.
Yeah, I thought it was
And then
a
there's
beta.
a receiver. I just bought one. I could use. I just need stereo. That would work for me.
Hey, that box right there with the switches.
Resistor box.
Okay, because that looks exactly like what Curious Mark was using in his last video to test that Bendix computer.
So yeah, this is a general radio.
Right.
He was using something that looks exactly like that box to test that mechanical computer from.
So was the Bendix like an analog computer, a comparator thing?
Well, it was. They're looking at testing out restoring the. It came out of a fighter jet. It does all the avionics.
It's comparators. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Precision resistors to check.
They were using a box that looked just like that to try to drive the thing.
If you guys could feel how these knobs feel, oh man, these are some real switches here.
You're gonna bet gold-plated contacts and wire-wound resistors and everything in there is just as.
Keep going. There's some parts. There's an Osborne over there, yeah, and then some more parts, more printers. Apple II, 429. Apple II Plus with the disc. ADDS console 980 terminal, $100.
Got hammy orange keys.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to do a terminal video. Here's a handy item.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys see that line?
Daisy printer 2.
DWP 220.
That's it. I got one. I got a gray one.
Has some ribbons.
Knobs
Here
going off the side.
is a Soviet VHS. Oh.
That thing you had to pour.
Case. $10 case. Ooh, where's David? Floppy. Floppy. I picked up a free floppy. What's this? I don't recognize this. It says Citizen. So it's Japanese design, assembled in China. And here's a zip drive. It says Iomega.
Come on.
IDE zip drive. Yeah. How much do I want for this?
$2.
$2. I don't know. Think about it. Controllers. Do you have any racks? So there was a box of these things in the free pile, and some old guy walked up and said, "You know what those are?" I'm like, "Those are for rack mounts." He's like, "Yeah, you have to have the older style rack mounts."
Yeah, I have a box of those in the closet at work for our rack.
And one of those nut puller things, or your fingers will get sore.
Oh yeah, so you save your fingers.
Well, what's in the gray case?
Air
and server.
Do you see that, Ron? That logo?
Yeah.
It's an Apple X Surf. But if it has any drives in it, you click the handles, and then the drive should wiggle out. I'm not going to break it, but this is how you get the drives out of it. It has a really cool click handle.
What I was saying is, what's in the gray bag behind it?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, just
it's a Dell laptop.
Ooh.
486.
20 megabyte drive.
It's only $40. Screen broken. Usable with external monitor.
It's a gamer.
That's why it's reasonably priced, right?
Bulk item.
Man, who
It
doesn't
is
have a
an
box full of old
HP
CD drives?
HP DVD ROM drive. If anybody wants one, we have about half an hour. And okay.
Hey, Tandy. Tandy 1000.
When I saw the price tag, I'm like, don't know about that.
Well, they don't have the monitor, keyboard, mouse, and software.
Right, but this Amiga for $1,500. This is complete with the disk drive and everything. Original Amiga 1000, right? Here's some mini PCs, slim PCs. Do these have one second? Do these have a floppy controller or two new? No, I see
Too new.
M SATA or whatever. Yeah, this is too
Right.
new.
It's missing
All right.
too much.
Not for me. 3.5 inch. There's
What
the
was
rack
those
screws.
motherboards in that box behind you?
It's some kind of let me get up to it and a little bit closer. So this is some kind of computer.
Just
Pentium 166. But
The DIY repack.
DIY repack, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like it came out of some case, and then it only has one slot, so it has this riser card that has the slots on it. Huh. Is it worth for $60? Don't know. All right, Apple magazines, nuts and bolts, servo magazine, Hazeltine terminal, Spectrum 2 Plus. This Mac with the keyboard apparently working is $399. This is actually my friend. This is actually my consignment. I'm not happy to see it's still here. This was a server that I used for my website for a long time, and I found it in the garage. And my friend said, "Hey, want to try selling it?" I'm like, "Sure, I can take it to VCF."
I used
Go
to
ahead.
have two of those 1750s.
Yeah. So he wanted $200 for it, and I said, "Okay, I'll add a little more for the consignment fee." So there's a Commodore Apple. This one is interesting. Does anybody want an Apple One clone? It's only $2,999.
Maybe not.
But it's pretty nice. There's somebody actually has one inside of the show. Can go look at it a little bit later. And then there's random stuff in box. CD drive, power supply, random network cards, SATA card, Craftsman. What's this? It's an engraver. Craftsman electronic engraver. Yeah. Okay. So that's the consignment. Some RAM. Wonder if any of this RAM would go in that machine. I personally don't know what the RAM bus looks like.
Oh, it's got a big giant heat spreader on the top of it and runs at about 1,000 degrees.
Anything else you guys want to see again before I move along? Is they're going to be closing this up in half an hour.
It's cool.
Some old cell phones. And then t-shirts. I'm not sure what the deal with this terminal is. As is, hasn't been turned on for 40 years. Has obvious CRT disease. Wow. That looks pretty terrible. This
probably just a non-glare on the front.
This is an actual honest to goodness Lear Siegler terminal, since it has the LSI and ADM.
Right. This is before all of the Atom stuff. Right.
Interest list for the terminal. Alrighty. Now we're gonna zip past the registration desk.
Are they using a CoCo to register people?
And a TP10, yeah, sure. Got some books here. I've been watching these things disappear. There were some that I was interested in, which are gone, and that's good for me.
They've had aliens at the show, huh?
All right. This is somebody's exhibit. This is a Cosmic Elf with 1802, is it? Don't know.
RCA.
Yep. RCA
RC, yeah.
1802. Yep.
Looks like some old video game systems and somebody's portable computer. That's nothing pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks like the keyboard for it's sitting over there.
Yeah. Okay. This thing is pretty interesting. Can you guys how well can you guys see this?
Is that a flatbed plotter?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
this
a
is like a-
plotter. But what's driving the plotter? Can you
Like a
I'll go
ballistic
in
computer there?
I'll go in a little bit closer so you can see what's going on here. This is a computer.
Yeah. Yes, this is an analog computer made out of Lego.
No, it's a Rector set.
Okay,
These
Rector
are these
set.
are
I mean, the
this-
Rector set. Yeah.
This is metal with screws. Okay,
So
so
compute
this
your
is
file tables, your fire tables
so
on
this
here.
so this is a Rector set.
Nice.
These gears bite, don't touch. Well, I only touched the side just to sort of prove to you guys that it was
So
metal,
the wheel,
metal and gears and chains and stuff.
right? So the wheels with the sliding things. I'm missing the word right now. Comparators, something. They're. It does matter.
What's
the fact of having the little wheels sliding on the big record player looking thing does matter.
what's the name of this device? This with an integrator. You're close to it.
Exactly.
It's an integrator.
So here you
Yeah.
can compute your ballistic fire tables to shoot bombs at people.
There's 6 of them, yeah.
I like the way it fits on the table. Sort of.
It's nicely done. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yes. Yeah.
Do you have to oil that thing?
That's cool. Yeah. Wow.
WD-40?
Yeah, WD-40 light machine oil.
They have different. Are these the names of the variables? K, and then you have delta phi over T or whatever for this one. This one is a sine function, cosine function. This one seems relatively familiar. What do you guys think? Yeah. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? That's a computer.
Does it make noise?
Yes, but can I switch microphones? I don't think I can switch microphones. So have a lot more to show. I'm gonna start moving faster.
Okay.
Guys, we're at 2:00. It's time for Mark to have dinner, right? Here's the Sphere computer.
With software running.
And then I don't know if you guys know about this YouTube channel.
Was that the Macintosh librarian I saw go by?
And then here's Mackie. I didn't know that Mackie was portable until I saw Kate walking around with it. So if you guys don't know about her channel, I'm gonna say it's cute. Sometimes a little too cute. It makes me facepalm sometimes, but they're fun videos to watch.
Yeah, maybe you
Okay.
shouldn't go there, rabbit hole. You'll never get out.
Some kind of thing with a vector display. Stupid computer. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right. Walking. Here's Steve, who you guys saw earlier. And his exhibit has every single Atari 800 cartridge.
Up, Coco.
Oh, I didn't. Let me get you closer. The Vint nerd.
No.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna take you guys. Battle of the GUI. Have Commodore 128 and what's this one? I don't know what this is. I guess this is DOS something.
An Atari?
Some kind of DOS computer.
With
Apple IIc.
That's it.
So here's the first Mac. Wall of Macintoshes coming up. Macintosh. Can we?
Do you have
Come on,
any?
guys.
Do you have any
We
fish
should all
tank?
get together. We should get together at one of these VCFs. Try to get this
Bring all our
many
Cocos.
Cocos in a line. Come on, guys. We can do it. We have the power.
Are
We
they
have enough
playing
Coco-
Bolo on them?
We have more Cocos than they have Macs. Ha 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 ha.
Are they playing Bolo on those
couple
Macs?
of VCFs ago, I think it was. Don't remember if it was Commodores or Ataris. Every time a different computer dominates everybody else, and this time it's Macintoshes. Macintoshes, as far as I can see.
When one guy brings 15, it's gonna skew the number a bit.
Ha 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 ha. Don't get me wrong. I use my fair share of Macintoshes, so I have one that's streaming over there. Okay, we've entered Unix land.
SUDO.
Digital Micro PDP 11. The VT220 terminal, an HP Lunchbox PC, Silicon Graphics, Next Box. This one is a Sun Floor 260. This over here is Backbit. I haven't had a chance to talk to this person. I would love to. Okay, looks like we've entered Commodore land. Commodore PET. And then have more Commodores.
64?
They have a Commander X16.
Nice.
Right there. Commander X16. Okay. Commodores. This is auction site. And you guys know what this thing is? Anybody?
Oh, you hit it with a.
Corded input panel for like an alto, right?
Makes music.
What's the?
No.
Oh, this.
Steve.
I mean, RR, those were the guys selling that Apollo stuff, weren't they?
You see the signatures there on this check?
Yes, and you rarely see a full Stephen Wozniak signature, but the fact that it's both Wozniak and Jobs on it is pretty amazing. This check, we believe, paid for the prototype boards.
He says he believes it paid for the prototype boards for like Apple 1 or 2. Apple 1.
That's Apple 1.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the current estimate for this check?
Well, it was 50,000, but it's only at 61,000.
It's a live auction? Okay. So if you guys want this check signed by Woz and Jobs, it's currently $61,000 at what's it called? RR Auctions. Okay. Sorry, that was interesting. I needed to stop to see that. Oh my God. I have never seen so many SX64s at one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 SX64s all in one place. Who knew?
Nice.
That they had that many. No, I'm kidding.
With keyboard
Maybe
cables.
more than that.
All right, so this is the exhibit that I wanted to be next to, but my exhibit is in a different place. This is the guy who has this portable computer from 1976. So it has a 6800, and the actual computer boards are back there. And he told me before that the company who made this made a keyboard module, made a vacuum fluorescent display module, a printer module over here, tape module, and put them all in a box. Now this guy told me, this is the one that told me he took this to school and ignored all of the bullying. So this is amazing technology for 1976.
Awesome.
Ooh, power supply. Wow.
And look at that cap. You could probably.
What's that, Rick?
I was just saying, look at the power cap in there. You could start a car
Oh,
off
yeah,
of that.
yeah,
the big blue can there. That's about a fair ad.
I like it, but the CoCo people don't seem to be that interested in it. I think it's super cool. All right. On the other
I
side.
thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just having to rush around. We're just letting you rush around and talk. That
Yeah.
was really cool. 6800, man. Come on.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
actually saw a few people I knew.
Hey, whose exhibit is this?
Some loser.
No one important.
Can I put myself on the screen?
What
Where's
what is,
my-
what is that?
Hi,
What-
I'm looking at myself. Shaky cam. Woo!
he wants, right?
All right. The exhibit right next to me, these are all alpha machines. Deck Alpha. They're pretty cool.
Yes, they were.
More Macintoshes. Power Mac. Something signed by Woz. G3 Booster 366. Can you guys see this, or is the contrast not that good? I think you can see that, right?
That's good. Yeah.
SC30, G4 Cube, some Power Max. Yep. And then every time I come to this exhibit, he's talking to somebody. I have to come back when I'm not on the stream. I actually want to know more about what you're doing, so I'll come back later. I know it's running Mac on something that's not supposed to be running it, so that's what I heard. Zia C3 Gaming, okay. This guy's exhibit was interesting. This computer right here is a Russian computer. It's a Russian home computer, and apparently it has a clone of the PDP-11. That's the chip that runs this home computer. So Russian clone.
Holy moly!
That's interesting.
I found that pretty interesting. But then when I thought it through, I don't know if this is the chip here. It might be. But when I thought about it, I'm like, well, if it's a home computer, then I don't think you're really going to know the difference of what kind of CPU is inside of it. You're just going to have devices hooked up to memory addresses or I/O ports, right? So what's the difference, right? They multiplied. What there was a Pi there before. Now there's 2 Apple I clones. 2 Apple I clones. Okay. We have an HP. Now that's an interesting solution for the problem of finding pens. Sharpie. I've never seen that before. Anybody use a Sharpie?
That's a good mod.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
So I discovered that the hole in the pen hole of the top here, the diameter exactly matches the pen diameter. The point where the cap
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's just the right diameter.
Yeah.
Stuck it in a lathe
Okay. Yeah. So what he's saying is that he takes the he takes the Sharpies and mills them down a little bit so that they fit in the HP holder. And this is something that you can obviously buy in any craft store, and you have infinite pens and lots of colors and stuff. So this exhibit is HP 85 computer, so Hewlett Packard Basic. Pretty interesting stuff. That's pretty cool. Make sure that you make a video or write an article or something about this so other people know about it.
You're about to do that.
This is a color computer show. What do they know? I don't even know anything about these computers. Commodore, Atari. Have some more deck stuff. I don't see any blinking lights. Does that mean that they're not running? Oh, okay. This one's running.
Yeah, that one's just the show. This one's.
It looks like we're counting.
Oh, that's the null job on CSS8 that runs when the system is otherwise idle. There's not much going on it right now.
PDP-8M. Cool. Here's Amiga corner. They have the logo up there. I don't know exactly what this contraption is. Bodega Bay. It's a Commodore logo.
It's a add-on for the 500.
An add-on for a 500?
Yeah, it's pricey.
Has some slots in the back. That's pretty cool. Amiga, PC gaming. And then this guy here is a pretty cool old guy. He's got a bunch of old Suns. Sun 350, Sun 360, Sun 160, 3110.
Tell him I'll give him my spleen for a 360.
That Sunblade I have in my closet.
And then across the way from me is video game corner. So since this is already kind of taken a long time, anything that you guys want to see, I have one more thing to show you guys.
Yes,
I need to show you the PDP-11 that's driving the LED sign, which is over here.
Yes, I want to see absolute stillness.
C6. So this computer, PDP-1105, with the nice blinking lights, and it's going through this breadboard, and that's driving the sign. Oh, the computer's doing something, switch tasks or did something. PDP 11/05. All right. Z80. These look like chainer boards. Sinclair QL. I have one of these. I should probably talk to the person that has this channel to find out what kind of cool stuff they have hooked up to it.
I wanted one of them back in the day.
Beeb. Some kind of robot thing. The robot thing, I guess, is being driven by the Beeb. So, all right, guys. Other than stillness, what else would you guys like to see? Anything?
No, I think they're all in awe of all the great stuff.
Yeah.
Especially all the cool Macintoshes.
Oh my God. Macintosh is for miles.
Are you
Plus
saying,
Mackie on top of it.
So
No
are
pay-
you saying hi to all the wonderful Mac people that we know?
Just sigh.
Next-
Sigh.
Go somewhere in this stream.
Next time you go over there, ask them if they have one that's made into a fish tank.
That's offensive.
Yeah,
That
that's
might-
why I said go ahead and ask.
You want to get him beat up? What?
Wait,
Yeah, I definitely don't want to get beat up. Well,
almost saw
that's
CoCo.
the quickie tour of VCF West. So
Very cool.
it's got a lot for
Ah,
me.
there was
It's a lot of cool stuff.
What it cost you to get in there?
Nothing.
No?
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything. Exhibitors are free. So, all right, guys. If none of you
What's
want to
general
see
admission?
anything else in more depth, then I will sign off.
You
Okay,
did a
what was
great
general
job.
admission?
I'll go back to the stationary setup, so you don't have to watch all the motion. How's that?
You did a great job. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for the
Yeah,
walkthrough.
very
That was
cool. And thank you for representing, because apparently you're the only CoCo there. Really?
Yeah,
Right?
I think I'm really the only CoCo here.
Talk
Let
about
me-
being the
let me-
underdog.
Give me
Yep.
one moment to get plugged back into my other setup here. Be right back.
Oh, I think I know the problem. All the people with all the CoCos are busy using them. They're not wandering around the convention hall somewhere.
There was never a CoCo fish tank.
Nah, got stuff for it to do.
All right. Well, I think that was about it we had for the show today.
Yeah, well, the CoCo doesn't have a screen built into it.
Right.
Do we have a fish tank program for the CoCo somewhere?
There's a graphic of a fish one time being caught with a hook, but I think it was on like Rainbow on Disc or something.
Yeah. We need a fish tank simulator. I know somebody who likes fish. I'm going to ask her to start drawing some fish.
Be a
I'm
CoCo
fishy.
CoCo Barracuda.
Shall we say goodbye?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
You
do
wanna?
that. Because, yeah, that's a lot of cool stuff all at once. And now I've got more games from Inufutu to go play.
Nick Marentes, what time is it over there? Uh-oh.
Breakfast time.
Time for a nap.
He's gone anyway.
Mm.
Oh, wait a minute. I know why I can't see nobody. There's everyone else.
Haha! Unhide.
Yeah. All right. Let me run the outro.
Cool.
Yeah, because I need to go. I'm feeling a bit green.
Don't we all? Okay.
This concludes another episode of the CoCo Nation, the world's leading live interactive talk show featuring the Technicolor computer. For all things the CoCo Nation, visit us on the web at thecoconation.com. We'd love to hear from you. Send feedback, suggestions, even segments via email to show@thecoconation.com. The CoCo Nation Show would not exist without the community and its cast and crew. The CoCo Nation theme song, copyright 2022, D. Bruce Moore. Mixed, mastered, and produced by D. Bruce Moore. The CoCo Nation is over. Join us on the CoCo Discord server.
CoCo forever.
See you're here again.
Yeah, I'm awake.
So
It was a rough night last night.
Okay, let's. Oh, if I turn my camera
I
on.
just took a bit of a nap. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
No, we started a new show.
Yeah, you missed a bunch of Amigas.
No fish tanks.
Episode 325.
She slept right through 325.
Oh, we're up to 325 now, are we?
We were. Now it's over.
Yep. Okay. Bye bye.
Go get dinner.
Remember, next week, special guest. Who is it, Mark?
It's Matt Harper, Wizard's Den.
Yeah.
How many hours we go without Curtis?
Good. 3.5.
Yeah, not bad.
All right.
Flyers.
Goodbye, everybody.
Later,
Bye.
folks.
Bye.
Do better next week, we
Do
promise.
something on your CoCo this week.
We didn't do it bad.